Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard. Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard.
king, the god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage. You know how I start this off. Shout out to all my MDK gang members around the world. And I want to let everybody know, Blvd Bullies versus the World is a podcast. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live on YouTube with my motherfucking boy, Larry the Legend. And what the Blvd Bullies are doing, they're trying to ignite a revolution. Within the fans unite and make the crowds electric again. So check out the Blvd Bullies vs. the World. 7 p.m. live Tuesdays with Larry the fucking Legend. MDK all fucking day.
Oh, so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Boulevard. Let's see if I can do this right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blvd Bullies versus the World. We're back. I'm your host, PK, with Blvd, and I am joined by my co-hosts. Congratulations to all three of you for not getting locked up in the week off and being able to be here for us as we continue to descend into madness. First and foremost, Bad Take Bry, one punch right in your Jack Johnson, the merch guy.
What's up, motherfuckers? Missed you, guys. Happy to be back.
And of course, we have certified, graduated, properly, certified. Did I say that already? He's got this. He's got everything. He's got all the certs. He's got all the certificates. He is the Death Match Doctor, DMD, voice of a generation, ringside Sean.
Soy yo, mi gente. ¿Cómo están ustedes hoy? How are you guys doing? Good to see you. I missed you all. A week is much too long. Much too long.
And of course, the voice of a lifetime, former boat owner, Showcase Showdown winner, the captain of the ship. Over here doing the Batman, wearing your own very stylish tank top. We have my wrestling father and dear friend, Larry the Legend.
Larry the motherfucking Legend.
Hey, y'all. I don't get to see him as often, but today is AR Fox's birthday.
Hey, feliz cumpleaños.
September 5th. Yeah. AR Fox, my man. I don't get to see you that often, but from the bottom of my heart, brother, you are doing great things, and I want to wish you a happy birthday. First thing first out of my mouth on Blvd Bullies versus the World.
Shout
and thank
out
you
AR.
for that intro. And yes, the tank top's now available, and I don't want to wait any longer.
I have to do something real quick that I forgot to do. You know, it's a hot one. It's a hot one today. And Larry and I, we have, Triangle Studios, triangular
Oh, God.
top floor.
Woo.
And when basically
Roof,
it's
you're in
just
Roof
two
Studios.
panels attracting the sun and boiling the inhabitants of said triangle, a.k.a. me and Larry. And so my air conditioner is on a 5 out of 4 right now. That one goes up to 11. And
Get it up. Get it up there.
I don't know if you could hear it or not, but it's going to bother me. So I'm going to let you guys go around the table and talk about what you did in your week off. Did you read a book?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go shut this down a little bit because, man, it's bothering me.
All right, you go, Pat.
Yo,
and
you do your thing, brother.
Yeah, we got this.
Well, I didn't read any books, but I went to my fiance's performance. She
And how was
performed
that?
a musical show. It was dope. Bleeding Through, you know the band Bleeding Through, a heavy metal band?
Of course.
They sucked.
I don't know them.
The
course.
Machinist was very good. My
I know the
fiance's band
Machinist.
crushed it.
Yeah.
Kawanashi, another good band. You know the guitar player in Kawanashi, the twin. You know
I
the
do.
twin?
Yes, I do know. I do know Suzuki Goku
Suzuki Goku.
on Instagram, my man. Yeah, Suzuki, I wish him a happy birthday.
City,
and I felt
City.
bad because I didn't wish his twin a happy birthday, but then again, I just met his twin last month.
You thought it was him.
Yeah. I was like, no, this is my guy, but it's not. It's his twin.
Right. Well, yeah, and I sold merch. I sold some Blvd Bullies shirts and Machinist shirts, and it was nice time.
Very good.
Enjoyed it.
You
Nice.
talking about Bleeding Through?
Yeah.
Man, that's one of my all-time favorite early 2000 albums.
Not many people probably agree with you because there was not many people there.
Ah, and the fact that I hear that
Aw.
there weren't many people there makes me want to have gone even more.
You should have went and kept me company. What did you guys do?
Well, I attended the A Matter of Pride Labor Day free show in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Yes, I commuted to New York City on Labor Day yesterday, and it was a walk through hail. Just imagining getting up I-95 on Labor Day and getting down I-95. But the show was a huge success, very much like Casanova Valentine. I'm sorry for mentioning his name. I know we don't want to always mention Cass's name on the show, but the show attracts non-wrestling fans. So these were like people that were like out with their babies, like enjoying brunch on the pier, and just in the middle of the pier, there was a Chad Minis ring, little Logan running around carrying boards, and we did a burlesque drag show. It was not attended by many wrestling fans, but there were quite a gathering. I sold a little bit of merch as well, right there next to some of the other stars of A Matter of Pride, and I didn't regret my decision to go. It was a lot of fun. I love having milestones, like saying I wrestled. Pat, you were there on Halloween. Brian, you as well. Wrestled on Halloween 2 years ago. Did a Labor Day show in New York City and Brooklyn. Milestone.
Bro.
So that's what I did. Yeah, and it was awesome.
Thank you for your labor.
Yes, my labor of love.
Very
What
nice.
about you, Sean? How's everything in your neck of the woods?
Everything in my neck of the woods is kind of woodsy, get a little greeny. We're heading towards the falls. We say goodbye to summer. I spent the week with some familia. We cooked, we barbecued, we ate, we chilled, we s'mored, and I watched some wrestling. Watched some good old
There was a
wrestling.
lot to watch.
There
Did
was
you-
a lot. There was a
Did you-
whole...
Whew.
I'm sorry, I was asking Sean if you had a fire. You had a fire to make s'mores, or were you like making s'mores over like a little your oven?
No, with the fire.
You had a fire.
Yeah, it's very much like Jim Morrison, baby.
He really come on,
Oh,
baby,
baby,
light
light
my fire.
fire.
Before we get into what we have planned today, because there's a stacked show, there's a lot to talk about, and special guest JJ Allin also later in the evening. But Larry, one of our loyal listeners says, wrestling shows are at their best when most of the people in the crowd don't watch wrestling. And I couldn't agree with that statement more. Larry, do you agree?
Absolutely.
Like people like Brian who don't actually watch wrestling.
Right. So these people had no idea what they were going to see. And let me tell you something. I had to do a lot of stalling at this show. I had to do a lot of, we're going to see a great show, everybody. We feeling good? And these people were like reacting to my every word. And I could just imagine if I was in front of wrestling fans that would be able to glean, like, okay, Larry's fucking stalling
Crickets,
because
yeah.
they don't have their shit together. You know what I mean? We're like, we're ready to start, Larry. Why do you keep talking to us? And where's the rest? You know, like I had no fears of that. So I was way more relaxed. It was hot as blazes yesterday for anyone that was in the New York City area. So that wasn't pleasant. But the fans were so kind of just like, hey, we're here to see a show and it's free. You know, whereas I feel like if it was an atypical wrestling crowd, they would have been you effed up and you know, like all sorts of like, let's steal the show, a la Fandango the night after WrestleMania. So yeah, to that fan or that loyal listener who said sometimes non-wrestling crowds are the best shows, just like that show that I mentioned of He Who Shall Not Be Named, those are always some of my favorite gigs to do. They're so much fun because it's not all of the wrestling fans. No disrespect, I'm one myself, but when it's not the wrestling fans, a lot of times it's a lot more free.
Yeah.
Facts. It's like
Well, and
people going
also-
to see a music show and then there's a fight and then they see a fight and it gets them fucking excited. So they just go crazy.
Brian, it's nothing
Yeah.
like that.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
Well,
I'm
sometimes.
just fucking with
Nothing
you.
like that, Brian.
But it's
Gotcha.
true.
Or hockey. I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to take me to hockey, and what we really wanted was the fights.
Well, that's like
Fights during
my
the
mom and
hockey.
I. My mom and I will watch figure skating. It was just to watch them fall.
Yeah.
Wow.
My mom admonished me about watching the NASCAR races to watch the crashes.
You know, I have
She
to
said,
admit
"Larry,
to all
that's
three
not
of those
funny."
things. It's all true for my childhood as well. It's like you want to see some shit happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. You bond over it. You get a good laugh. You get a good hug. You make the best out of it.
So
People
you're
getting
saying
hurt
that
is the best shit.
you were watching the Olympics, Sean, and when the figure skaters would fall down, your mother and you would stand up from the couch and hug.
Yeah, triple Askel. That fell. It's just hilarious, bro. Hit a triple Askel. Oh no! Oh, she fell on her face. Oh, like calling spots like it's wrestling.
Hey, Tanya Hardy and Nancy Kerrigan, one of the greatest wrestling angles of all time.
Booked by Vince McMahon.
She went full wrestling. She's like, I'll hit her in the leg with a pipe.
Yeah. 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 Well, no, she got her manager to do it.
Right,
It
there was
an
a
attack,
a masked manager, yeah.
Yeah.
Even more wrestling. That's even more wrestling.
Throwback, bro.
So before we get into the weekend worth of wrestling, because I did have a good segue, but before we do that, we have to say, because we missed last week, R.I.P.
Oh,
Two
God.
legends. Two legends in two completely different respects of legends.
Good gosh.
I have this sitting right here, man.
Wow.
Rookie card.
Well, yeah, rest in peace, Terry Funk. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. I remember I was exposed to Terry Funk because I saw, 95 Kawasaki Dream. I was a fan of Mick Foley. I wasn't a fan of him then. I wasn't 10 years old watching that tape. But, as I got into my teen years, I started following Mick Foley, learning about his exploits. And then that's how I was introduced to Terry Funk. And then, Chainsaw Charlie and Best of Terry and ECW. Born to be Wired, 1997.
Best shit, dude.
Good shit.
Great stuff.
Pat, I think that's a great kind of like real quick if we can go around and talk about how we all were introduced to Terry Funk.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Go ahead. Take it away, Larry.
Okay, sure. So I knew a Terry Funk because of the earlier WrestleManias. Terry was at a lot of the early WrestleManias, and I remember that whatever his match was, whether it was oh gosh, I can't even remember the midget match at WrestleMania 3 or WrestleMania 2. I think it was he and Dory versus Tito Santana. Whatever the case may be, the matches were always really exciting parts, and I would see his name in the PWI magazines and stuff, this Terry Funk. And I just always was wanting to see him and experience him. And that's why when he came in 98 as Chainsaw Charlie to WWF, I was like, this is Terry Funk. And around that time was also when the Pioneer videos, the ECW Pioneer videos started being released, Heatwave 98 and Guilty as Charged, CyberSlam 99. So I was able to see a lot of his catalog. And that's how I got introduced to him.
It's amazing. What about you, Sean?
Definitely back in the day, ESPN would have that wasn't ESPN, it was the MSG network, and they would have WWF marquee matches, and it would be like Saturday night, 12 o'clock, and it's like old school house shows from back in the day. And it was like Mr. Wrestling #2 versus Terry Funk. Or like a Hulk Hogan fighting the Genius, and then Terry Funk was there, ringside, just some wild scenario with Terry Funk there. And then he would always be on some suit, what's the guy's name that he smacked the reporter?
Charles Schultz.
David Schultz.
Oh, Charles Schultz wrote
Charles
Schultz wrote Peanuts, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got to turn this.
Or just stuff with some David Schultz in him. And then growing up, be like, oh wow, I remember that guy. That's the guy from the house shows, and it's now he has my grandmother's pantyhose on his head, and he's waving around a chainsaw. And then it's you bump into him in ECW, and then you get older, and then now you're watching all ECW documentaries, and wow, this guy is very pivotal, just not to extreme wrestling, but to pro wrestling all around. He gave back from the golden era of wrestling into the attitude era of wrestling late into the late 2010s. Larry, you were at a show where he was at, right?
Yeah, I got to do a show. Hold on, I got WrestleMania on VHS here. I wanna see what his match was on here, because I know he was. Oh, he wasn't on this. I'm totally wrong. I thought he was on WrestleMania 1, but I guess WrestleMania 2. Yeah, he wasn't on this at all. Okay, threw myself under the bus.
People in the chat, by the way, shout out for watching. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Appreciate your comments. I'll try to get to all of them. Beyond the Mat, obviously, and that leads into Barely Legal main event and all the kind words that were said about him. And, also, I'm not booked, Terry.
Dennis Stamp.
Yeah,
Dennis Stamp. Yeah.
Stays ready. I'm not booked, Terry. And then Terry, from the kindness of his heart, be the referee. I wouldn't want anyone else.
Yeah, I want you to ref me and Brett. I couldn't think of bro. It was magic, and the way that when he said that, it took Dennis Stamp's breath away. You remember the pause where Dennis wants to say no, but he can't. He's like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That Terry said this to him.
Such a kind thing.
Yeah, I want you to ref me and Brett. I can't think of anybody else. Main event. I need you.
Wow.
We need you.
Yeah,
right?
we need you.
Well,
we need you.
Yeah. You better be glad I could cancel that flight to Tampa because I just took everything and he did not go. Remember he said that? He was like, it was great. That was a great movie.
Yeah, excellent film. And, before we ask Brian for his Terry Funk You Googly, I just want to say there's no shame in having gotten into Terry Funk through Chainsaw Charlie. Maybe if at the time you were like a hardcore Terry fan, obviously you'd react in a cranky way. You'd be like, oh, look at what they're doing to him. But you think about it, put him on a whole new stage. And a whole shit ton of people got to learn who Terry Funk was through Chainsaw Charlie. So I have a feeling, Brian, that you might say that. So I want to soften the blow that we're about to give you. Because even though...
I don't give a fuck what you think of my fucking opinions or what I say, because that's exactly what happened. The first WrestleMania I ever saw was WrestleMania 14. And 14? it was Mick, what was it? It was Mick Foley. New Age Outlaws versus Terry Funk, and it was the garbage can match.
The dumpster match.
The dumpster match, right. The dumpster match.
The garbage can.
We knew what he meant. Yeah.
Motherfuckers, dude.
It just sounds funny.
That was the first match you have to break
ever saw.
Every bone in your opponent's body and stuff them into this garbage can and close the lid. I'm sorry. Continue.
The second time was the Born to Be Wired Sabu match.
Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just the most insane match. Dude, he's like one of the most believable professional wrestlers to ever exist.
I always felt he had one of the most brutal, I throw my weight on you moonsaults.
It just looked like he was like fighting you and like he was being hurt and he actually hurting you.
I mean,
different style.
One of my favorite things about him is the wild selling. And Mox does this. I know a lot of people
Mox wishes. Sorry.
Okay, hold on, Pat. Hold on.
Punching
I'm not
the
saying he is.
I'm very upset.
I'm not saying he is Terry Funk, not by any stretch of the imagination, but the wild selling, the wobbly legs, the drunk selling, and a lot of the times Terry wouldn't do that until they went out to the floor.
Yep.
Where things were more dangerous. Now we're out here. It's like he gets punched and he whips his hand around so fast, selling it. And someone in the crowd is like, "Oh shit, he almost hit me."
Yep. Or whips up the mat on the floor.
Yeah.
That stare.
Unhinged.
Middle-aged.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to do a show with him at the Starland Ballroom back in 2016. And it's funny, Jim Cornette on his podcast was talking about how when he was a young photographer, at one point he was ringside and Terry and whoever he was working fought to the outside and Terry was kind of powdering on the outside. And then he starts to look to his side and Jim Cornette noticed that Terry Funk locked eyes with him. And Jim's looking at him like, why is he looking at me? And then Terry starts to walk towards him. Jim kind of takes a step back. And as he takes the step back, Terry starts to quicken the pace. And before you know it, there's a chase around the ring where Terry's not paying attention to his opponent, but chasing after Jim Cornette and the crowd's going nuts about it. He did that exact same thing to me when I was standing in the ring for a tribute to Balls Mahoney. And Terry got in the ring, and one of the first things he did when he got in the ring was he asked for a chair. Well, why the hell did he ask for a chair? People were wondering, but he was working. And he slowly got himself positioned to me where he could like kind of have me to the side angle. And I saw him pick that chair up and I hauled ass. I got out of the ring and Mick Foley gets on the mic and goes, that was a wise decision there. You're never too safe when Terry Funk has a steel chair in his hands. And it kind of felt good to be like worked into that without having discussed anything.
Yep,
we didn't talk about that.
If you know, kid. Get with it.
Exactly.
Fire, bro. That's so dope.
I love that story.
Yeah,
and
it was a great moment. It's my moment. You know, didn't get many with Terry, but that was my moment, and I was like, it was amazing. It was like Madison Square Garden. I hate to say that. I was like, The Price is Right. It's up there with those moments. You know, I didn't get to announce them. You know, I announced Mick Foley somehow or other. He's out in the ring, and now he's fucking swinging a chair at me, and I'm hauling ass. Great.
So
amazing.
dope.
Well, those memories are just, so precious. You love to see it. What about a person who I know Brian has very fond memories of, Bray Wyatt as well. Tragically, and it's different because Terry was getting old. Terry
was old since WrestleMania 14.
So it's like completely different vibe with Bray Wyatt, who died at the age of 36, which is a little close to home for me as well, which is like scary, crazy to think about.
Yeah, for all of us.
Yeah. Man didn't even hit 40.
Took a nap.
Just
took a nap, apparently.
He had a slew of issues. He was always fucking a depressed, dark man. And he always had issues. And it's sad. It's a sad thing. I mean, he didn't.
So, Brian, what's your first memory of him, though? Let's lighten the mood with it, though. Let's
dude,
make
the first memories I have him are those Bray Wyatt fucking Wyatt family promos. The creepy shit walking through the house where he's fucking in the rocking chair. Best shit ever, dude. And just the whole experience of the Fireflies being created. Best shit. It's a fucking tragedy.
If I can jump in there, I guess my first memory of him was, correct me if I'm wrong, was he a member of the Nexus?
Yes, sir. Husky Harris.
Yes,
Harris.
I was keeping my eye on all of those guys. I thought that all of those guys, I don't know if it was just they just had on black and yellow and I was CZW at the time, but all of those guys I was like, wow, this guy might break out and be like, the next guy. And I remember him during that time and remembering thinking before I knew he was a rotunda, but just thinking, wow, this guy has something, and he has something, and it was one of those things where when he morphed into Bray Wyatt, I didn't even realize that was the same guy. And there have been a couple times that's happened to me in wrestling where I didn't realize Dustin Rhodes was Goldust or Quang was Savio Vega. But that was a particular time where I was like, oh, that's when someone was like, that's Husky Harris. I was like, oh, shit, it is. So.
That's the magic of wrestling.
What about
you? Great acting, dude. He's just an insane, amazing actor.
You said it, Brian. You said it.
I'll piggyback off of Larry. The first time I seen him was when CM Punk had his first week as the new leader of the Nexus. He had just beat Wade Barrett in a steel cage match the week prior for control of the entire group. Now, this was the new Nexus, and one of the members of that group was Husky Harris, who had just been coming up from FCW. So you had this massive unit of a man that moved so quickly. They used to call him the Army tank with a Ferrari engine, and that's exactly what he was. He moved like a tank, but his speed was like a Jaguar, like a Ferrari, like he was quick. His senton was immaculate. Everything he did was just spot on and crisp and clean. And then you got to see the evolution of him as a wrestler into Bray Wyatt, like Brian said, and you see the imagination turn into reality because that was all him. WWE writers could write everything they want, but when you see a character that's fully engulfed in what they're giving to the fans, very much like The Undertaker or like a Mankind, that's them. And he embodied that. And whether we got to see him, 6 months, 7 months, 2 years straight, 3 years straight, and whatever capacity it was, it worked. He tagged with Randy and it was great. He worked as a face. It was awesome. He came back as the Fiend. We got to see a whole nother version of him. It was cool to see. Where he was going now was, I felt more of the Bray Wyatt that we were going to have for the rest of his tenure in WWE. And it's very, very unfortunate that he's no longer, going to be entertaining us. Yeah. Very powerful mind in pro wrestling. Tragic. You don't see them like that.
No one talked like that motherfucker, man.
No,
when he spoke, it didn't even matter what he was saying because he like the way he said it, like he believed it, yes. And it just sounded insane.
Yeah.
It made you give goosebumps.
My favorite
cut
Bray Wyatt
promos.
moment is when he emerged looking like s'mores that Sean made this past weekend. Completely melted and s'mored out, you know. If you could get your hands on that figure, you know, send it my way. I want the Bray Wyatt s'mores figure. Please. Collector's item, deep dive. Rest in peace to both Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt.
And Wyndham Rotunda.
Wyndham
Rotunda. What a great name. Excellent name.
He was named after his uncle Barry.
Barry Windham.
Also, rest in peace to CM Punk's career in AEW. So we missed the whole week.
Never say never. Never say never. Hey, wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Do we have giveaways?
Oh, my goodness gracious, Larry. I completely forgot. Also, Brian, if we have any giveaways, we have JJ Allin on the show probably around 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Probably around 8 o'clock. Send him the link, see what happens. Switch to the 5-man Zoom call. And just let her rock. So if you want to keep hanging out with us, if you enjoy the show, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't screen record. If you're hate watching, do not screen record. What is this, Brian?
Is that Okada-san?
Is that a fan?
It's Daichi Hashimoto.
Wasn't he? Didn't he just do the panel with Eddie Kingston at Starcast?
Signed.
Hideyoshi Itani.
Well,
Also
that guy
signed.
that you just have the camera on.
Double signed. And if you're hot,
Okay. So it's not Okada.
Nope.
not Okada.
So it's a fan.
Absolutely.
It's an autographed fan.
It's a little Japanese autographed fan.
Very nice.
So yeah, we're demonetized, by the way, because of Brian and myself's behavior. More Brian than me, though, probably.
God, you
So
bully.
if you want to
Fair.
support the channel,
I don't give a shit.
you know,
I know you don't. That's why I love you.
BoulevardBullies.bigcartel.com, or I guess it's, streamlabs.com/BoulevardBullies/tip.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I know. You're never going to be able to get this fan. How are you going to get this fan? I'll tell you one more time. Streamlabs.com/BoulevardBullies/tip.
Look at that smile.
Yeah,
Streamlabs.com/BoulevardBullies/tips.
you got it.
Give us a tip.
You got it. Throw a tip and Brian will send you that fan. Yeah, hell yeah. Way to go.
Great for this New York weather right now.
Woo, it is hot. It is hot.
It is
I'm on a
hot.
2 now.
It's
I'm on
hot
a
in
2.
Baltimore too.
Shout out
this fan.
air conditioners. Shout out
Yeah, shout out the elite.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my god. dude.
I don't know.
So we
Shout out
missed
to the-
everything. We missed everything because we took the week off, so we missed All In. And we were talking about it before we started recording. The first match of All In was CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. And as this match is going on, it's breaking on Twitter that CM Punk beat up, in some manner of the other, choked out Jungle Boy Jack Perry, who wrestled the match before him.
He closed the pre-show.
Closed the pre-show.
0 hour. Appropriately
That's not all that happened. That's not all that happened, though,
And
because
then he goes,
you're-
yeah, go ahead, Brian.
you're desensitizing the story because monitors fell.
Ah!
So his lives
Oh, no!
endangered. Lives were endangered, Patrick.
Well, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you what he needs to. I'll tell you what he needs to bring up is what was said
Right. That's
to
where I
the
was going.
camera. That's what he needs to bring up.
So there are weeks of stories of CM Punk kicking people who are friends with the Young Bucks or people that talk shit about him or possibly even people who liked tweets talking shit about him. CM Punk, he keeps excellent records. And he is denying people, hey, Hangman Page, welcome to Collision. You could do your promo over there in the parking lot and then go back to the hotel. Which is just so fucking gangster. Oh, we're getting a tip.
Is that gangster? Is that what you consider it? I consider that. I think it's unprofessional. And
I said
creates
A. I
fucking
said A.
bad
I
work
didn't say
environment.
ER. I said gangsta.
Gangster. Well, I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
and then so apparently the latest story is that Jack Perry wanted to take a week off, so he was going to use real glass in a spot to write him off television for a week because of the lacerations. And CM Punk told him, hey, we don't use real glass on this show. That's stupid. If you want to use real glass, go to the B show. And, and then, made fun of him saying, what, you want to get cut so you could take a week off? Blah, blah, blah. So then on 0 Hour, with CM Punk and Samoa Joe theoretically waiting right behind the curtain, going over their match, right in front of Tony Khan, in front of the monitors, Jungle Boy Jack Perry looks into the camera and goes, "Real glass, cry me a river." And he said it, "Real glass, cry me a river." You know, I don't know.
And you hate that. You hate that he said that.
I just
Why
was
couldn't
like,
he say it in front of him?
Yeah, Brian, and also
I think it's funny that he said it on camera.
Because I just want to say, I want to say one other thing.
yes, add
And
to
this
the
is
story.
critical. This is critical. CM Punk didn't just take it upon himself to go up to Jungle Jack Perry and go, "We don't do that around here." He was asked by upper management, who had already asked Jungle Boy Jack Perry not to do it, to be like, "Can you talk some reason into this kid?" And that, to me, says it was a setup.
Well, if that's true, then Jungle Jack Perry was saying it to not only CM Punk, he was saying it to upper management as well. He was just saying it.
Why was it said? Why do you have to say that?
He just let his emotions get the best of him.
Because he's a fucking kid. And he was being a dick.
And therein lies the problem.
So he should get reprimanded without having to fight CM Punk.
Well, boys, listen, just the way we're speaking about it, WWE Hall of Famer Booker T weighed in on it. Booker T says he thinks that the situation got out of hand and all the blame should start up top. Now, Pat, how do you feel about it coming from up top opposed to it starting with the boys?
I think
where does it begin for you?
The overall truth that we can all agree on so unanimously, is that Tony Khan is an idiot.
Real life Richie Rich.
Right. Yeah, he's not running, he is definitely at fault. Booker T's 100% right. But I want to dig in the dirt. That's why it's like, yeah, of course the real problem is Tony Khan and the management, but that's what it's always been. So I just like thinking about CM Punk beating up Jack Perry. That's where I'm getting my enjoyment.
It's funny, but it's just like it shouldn't happen, and we shouldn't know about it.
But it's not anyone's fault other than Tony Khan's, because Jungle Boy's been in the company for 4 years. He should know not to do what Hangman did at the very least. It's like, CM Punk is easily agitated. Why are you doing that?
These people also have freedom. They have more freedom to say what they want. They have freedom to do what they like. Say a lot of things. Liberties. They have liberties, and they take them. And then people get tight. And then what are you supposed to do? Then they're going to fight.
Well, there are no consequences. Know about it. Nobody gets suspended until it's too late. Nobody gets reprimanded for doing.
You have situations like Cody. Cody seemed to have been in the same situation like this, and look where it wound up. They were able to come to amicable terms where they're like, you know what, this isn't going to look good when it hits the screens on Twitter and on Facebook and on Instagram. So let's write up something that says we came to terms where I'm going to go my way, they're going to go their way, and we're all happy and it's all love. Right now, they can't do that. There's something that's missing in between that. There's clearly an issue right now, and there's going to continue to be fights like this where you have a Jungle Boy and a Jack Perry going at it because there's something
Jungle Boy and a Jack Perry. Yo, Mark Henry kind of said
Jungle Boy and a CM Punk. You know what I mean?
Mark Henry said the same thing. Mark Henry kind of expounded on that point, that theory. He was on Busted Open, and he kind of, I listened to the audio of it too. He kind of sounded a little frustrated or sarcastic, where he was like, "Oh well, the problem is gone now, so there should be no more problems." Now that the problem's gone, there shouldn't be any more problems. So, I'm sure this is going to work out. And, and he said it in the manner that, we're all kind of thinking, So I thought that was interesting, because even would Mark Henry be employed by Vince McMahon and also have a radio show where he could say something like that? Because that really undermines Tony Khan, that kind of comment. But for better or worse. So that's the thing. Nobody's afraid of Tony. Even when you're in trouble, you're not really in trouble. There's nobody there to be afraid of,
I have been backstage in WWE a handful of times as an extra. And even there, for knowing what was going to be a matter of hours, I was walking on eggshells, making sure that I was displaying the right decorum, minding my P's and Q's and everything, because I just knew that at any point someone could show me the door, and that's not what I wanted. And I don't feel like that there's that kind of air in AEW. Like, you could be shown the door and that's it for you. You know, everyone's just kind of like, yeah, we're not them. We're not that place where you have to walk on eggshells backstage, or you have to shake someone's hand, or you have to fear that a locker room leader is going to come and press you when you say something in the camera like, real glass, cry me a river. And this is what I mean by it was a setup. Yeah, Brian, that was said to not only CM Punk, but to all the other people who had already said that to Jack Perry. So where were all those other people right when Jungle Boy came through the backstage area to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Tony Khan was sitting at the monitors with
Exactly.
his little headset on.
And there is,
fell on
so
him.
the headset didn't come off. Tony
It must
Khan
have fallen off when the fucking monitors fell off.
Remember the footage of that match? I think Doc Gallows was in it in Japan, and Inoki was so mad that the match was going shittily.
Yep.
That,
He ran out.
He comes down and he goes, "Stop it! Stop it!" He's banging his cane. He's like, "Stop the match!" And like everyone is like, there's a hush over everyone. Like, oh god,
Bro, he came through the crowd. He came through the crowd.
Yes, the boss. So why is Tony Khan not taking his headset off, pulling that motherfucker by the ear? Like, what is wrong with you?
Because he's a little idiot. He doesn't know what to do, and he's just happy to be there having fun with all his favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't fucking know, dude.
Yeah.
Who do you
He's
think was
Herb
on?
Abrams.
Who do you think was on the discipline committee? Because the statement was like
Oh, God,
Tony
yeah, the
Khan
discipline
feared for
committee.
his life, and you know it's so funny too, because Tony Khan goes, you know, I sought the counsel of a special AEW discipline committee and also outside counsel who unanimously recommended that CM Punk be fired, and I've taken their advice. Now, in the written statement, it had a little part where it was like, this decision is mine. I made this decision, you know, ultimately. He didn't say that in the promo, but he did say that he feared for his life.
Then he said he was
got
advised.
booed out of
He was
the
advised by a bunch of people.
This
He was
whole time,
advised.
I have thought up until the very last moment that it's a work, just because the whole sequence of events seemed too obvious. Jungle Boy says the thing, CM Punk's match is happening, and you're getting the reports. And then you know, it's like, oh, they're both suspended. I'm like, oh, this is how they're going to draw for All Out. They're going to have Jungle Boy versus CM Punk. They're going to create a whole thing based on the thing that happened last year. It's a whole play off of what happened. It's a work, but it's like, no, he actually beat the shit out of somebody.
It's all completely ridiculous, dude.
He doesn't give a shit. He
CM
just-
Punk was already tight because they left him at the fucking airport, and he was lost in fucking England.
That's
Like ridiculous shit is happening.
Yeah, but
in this company.
that's also what Pat said makes you think it's kind of a work, because it's like you see a picture of him on the train. He's taking the train to
It's
the
like a
arena.
joke.
One
like a
solo
joke.
photo, by the way. What's the deal?
Yeah, and-
He took the tube all the way from the airport to his hotel to the point he got lost. He had to ask fans, and there's only one photo. There's only one.
Only one, dude.
Photo. There's not a
I
TikTok.
came
There's
across-
not a freaking thing of him getting on. No, there's nothing.
I came across a Reddit post of a fan that was like in the crowd, and you see Punk after the match, like waving bye-bye, like he's like
Yeah,
he's
he
like
says
soaking
goodbye.
in the, he says goodbye, yeah, and I'm like, whoa. Did he know that his actions were gonna get him fired?
Well, apparently
Was
he
like,
screamed that he fucking quit before, like he tried to quit before the match, apparently. And then Samoa Joe convinced him to wrestle. That's one of the things that I've been
He
seeing.
tried to quit because of the fight. The whole
Yeah,
thing,
he was like, I
the
fucking
whole
hate
fiasco.
this place. I fucking quit. And like lunged at Tony. They're
So
saying.
he should have. So then he's a fucking idiot. He should have quit, so not got fired.
Well, I mean, hey.
If he wanted to quit,
I think that
if
if he
CM
quit-
Punk
I
wanted
think
to
that
quit,
if
he
he-
would have
I
said
think that
"fuck
if-
you" and quit.
I think that if he quit, he wouldn't have gotten his $3 million. He
Well, I
wanted
think-
to
I
get
think getting
fired so he
fired-
did his.
I think getting
Yeah,
fired
it's a-
with cause means that they don't owe him the money.
They don't owe him no money.
Yeah.
So
That's
he
why they
terminated
say,
his
that's why
contract.
he
He
came
broke
out
his
and said,
contract.
that's why Tony Khan is saying publicly that he felt like his life was in danger. And that's why they say with cause.
He's got
They're firing him
advisement from his lawyers.
with
Advisement
cause.
from his
So
lawyers.
they
Those are
don't
the
owe
people
him
they
shit.
met with outside. The outside
So-
Smart
people
little
they met
Richie
with.
Rich boy.
Okay, so now I understand
think-
why there
I mean-
was a, and now I understand
Allegedly.
why there was a victory lap taken. Am I to understand that there was a
Yo,
victory
that's
lap?
what I'm so mad about. I'm not even mad. Like, I don't think CM Punk is that great. I like to laugh at the thought of him beating up Jack Perry.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but is that context? The context is they're taking the victory lap because he was fired, or are they taking that because they took a victory lap, and someone is saying that they're taking a victory lap because CM Punk
When
got
have we
fired?
ever heard of them taking a victory lap ever?
Yeah,
ever.
and it was
I
on
don't know.
Collision.
I have never
Taken
heard
out
of this happen.
It could be taken out of context, though.
But why would they do it, Bri? For what?
Maybe there
What
was a
did they
joke.
take?
Someone said a joke.
Okay, so this is where
Someone
I'm
said a
coming real
funny
quick.
joke,
This
and they were
is
taking
where
a victory
Brian.
lap.
Hold on, this is where I'm
Okay.
coming real quick. The Bucks are very big fans of Michael Jordan.
They're
This
assholes, too.
weekend,
They're all
okay, hold on.
assholes.
This weekend, the events were held in Chicago, home of Michael Jordan, home of CM Punk, right? So what do people who are from outside towns do to the opposing team when they win?
They make
They
fun of
either
him.
run their bases or they go on their court and they celebrate. The Bucks went onto Punk's home court in Chicago, took their lap. And
You're
they
insinuating.
celebrated.
You're assuming.
I'm
just
not
like
assuming.
you assumed that
that's what they
CM
do.
Punk was going to come
I'm a-
back
I
at
could be
all
a-
out.
I
You
could be a
assumed
petty
he was
mother.
going to be there.
I could be a petty mother flower, brother, and that's
I think
something I do.
Yeah.
These
Just
are all
like Shawn
assumptions.
Michaels.
There's no facts.
I don't understand the victory lap, Pat. I know it got you really hot. Sean, now that you give me the context of like real sports and what opposing teams do. Now let me ask you this. Was it just the Bucks or was it Kenny and Adam Page as well?
They did it
Was
in
it the
honor of
Elite?
Jack Victory.
Jack Victory, who passed away.
Jack Victory's not dead.
I don't know. Something crazy I read.
See, these are just assumptions. Assumes they're making
Yeah, well,
asses of you and me.
Let's see how many more victory laps they take whenever they run. I don't know, Baltimore or fucking Dallas. Let's see. I want to hear the reports of the victory lap that the Bucks took for running just a random city. But now that Sean puts that context into it, that opposing teams do that when they go to the home of another team and beat them, you know? Because I'm like, what are they victorious of? They didn't win. The FTR beat them. What
And
are they
their
victorious?
what's their show
What are
called?
victory?
BTE.
Yeah, being the elite.
So there's a scene where Kenny Omega opens a Pepsi and he goes to drink it. He goes, "Oh, what is this?" And he puts it down. He goes, "Oh," puts it down. The next scene is the Bucks having Chicago deep dish pizza with Coca-Cola.
Whoa.
Yeah, because CM Punk likes Pepsi.
And
Anyway, so much drama. So much drama. Brian,
It's fucking wrestling, dude.
just so
Everyone's
much
an
drama
idiot.
happening.
Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah, but I've never heard of a damn. What is the closest thing in WWE's history that we've ever heard of like this? The screw job, I guess.
Yeah.
Sunny Days.
Bret Hart punching Vince
Sunny
McMahon.
Sunny Days, Vince McMahon getting punched in the hair pulling incident. You know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, has any wrestler gotten into an altercation that you can think of?
I guess
Shawn Michaels getting beat up in Albany.
Well, that
Why?
was.
Didn't Big Show
was-
beat some? That was like not wrestler versus wrestler, was it?
well, speaking of all this drama, we have J.J. Allin coming up in about 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Brian,
Wow, we really talked.
you know, we're having a good time. We got to catch up on,
We
on
talked
the life
that
and
It's been a
time.
long time since we've been together.
Yeah, we talked that talk. Last time we had Mr. Fantastic.
Right.
Yes, that is correct. Brian, why don't you update us on the last 2 weeks of everyone's favorite part of the show, deathmatch drama?
Well, the craziest part is that Drake Younger and Alex Colon seem to no longer be with XPW, and Alex
Yeah.
Colon is the XPW champion.
There was a show. Was it this past Friday, right?
Wait. Well, before I finish, Drake Younger made like a departing nice message, trying to be a nice guy, Drake Younger, but Alex Colon has just silently went into the night and not said a word. And just, I listened to Rob Black's podcast, and it seemed like Rob Black was seemingly upset at somebody. Didn't drop Alex Colon's name, but I can't think of anybody else who it would be, because Alex Colon is like the only person not announced for this show, and he's their champion. So it's all very strange happenings, weird times.
What is the deal with Circle 6?
What do you mean?
Why?
They're
What?
running shows on YouTube.
they're bringing people over, and now like Drake Younger is going to be exclusively on Circle 6. Alex Cologne's now exclusive.
Nobody else wanted. But it's very strange that all of a sudden Circle 6 wants to book Drake Younger, because nobody wanted Drake Younger a few months ago. Like XPW, he played this promo where he was reading off promo or emails and messages from promoters that they didn't want to work with Drake Younger. So now all of a sudden Circle 6 is hiring Alex Cologne and Drake Younger, and it's just a
billionaire backer.
Billionaire backer.
$1 billion backer. That's what it costs.
He's allegedly not a very good guy.
Whoa.
One of the guys.
Larry, you care to weigh in on all these goings-ons?
Yeah. So, Brian, I saw Alex Cologne's Circle 6 involvement. He lost.
It wasn't even just Circle 6. He wrestled also with Wrestling Revolver against Sami Callihan. He also lost against Sami Callihan.
Well, Wrestling Revolver.
There was another. I feel like there might have been one more, but those are two I know for sure.
Well, here's what I was getting at. Was it explicitly said by Rob Black that Alex Cologne is well, we know Drake's not around, but did Rob say Alex Cologne is no longer with XPW, or has that been addressed at all by Kat Martini? I know
there's been no addressing and no word, and it's just quiet times.
I'm seeing in the chat here.
Very strange. I would say it's very strange just because he's the champion.
I'm seeing in the chat here, not exclusive.
I will say that Rob Black on one of his podcasts was going off about how somebody there doesn't draw and doesn't sell pay-per-view. Like there's a guy that doesn't sell pay-per-views. Like they get these links, and he's the champion is supposed to be able to sell pay-per-view.
But Brian,
buys.
That could literally mean anyone there.
Yeah, but it's just weird that now Alex Cologne is just unspoken about.
Well, I mean,
something clearly happened.
I don't think it's not necessarily true that something happened. Maybe it's just like, hey, I got to go do other stuff.
I could be assuming, but this is just my guess.
I'm seeing in the chat here that it's not exclusive, and Circle 6 wrestlers can work elsewhere. And, maybe Alex Cologne just needed more stuff to do. I think it's a good sign that it wasn't just Circle 6, that he showed up in other places as well. It was just
he didn't have the XPW title.
It's just a schedule,
Rob Black also said
he wrestled Jake Christ at Revolver. Circle 6 all of a sudden live streaming and throwing thousands of dollars for XPW talent. Hey, $1 billion? What's $1,000 if you have $1 billion?
They paid Drake Younger $2,500 apparently to be a referee.
That's great.
It's insane.
Well, hey, you can't knock somebody for wanting to wrestle and make some money.
Not at all. But I'm just saying that it's strange. It's just strange that he is the XPW heavyweight champion, and he's the only one not announced for XPW's next serious event.
Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's like, okay, here's the deal. You go wrestle wherever you want. We'll fucking kayfabe it, and you'll be a surprise, and there'll be like a thing out of it.
It's very possible, but I don't see why. Because like if the guy, I don't know, it's just strange. I think it's strange. If the guy is the champion, you would think that you want him to cut promos and promote your fucking brand with the championship.
It's all the work.
I mean, Brian, I did listen to that exact episode of the Rob Black show where he was specifically saying Larry Legend, a ring announcer, promotes the shows and gets more buys than some of these guys who were considered the elite in deathmatch wrestling. Mm-hmm. And in that same breath, he mentioned that Schlatt is another one with me that gets a lot of buys just by promoting the links. Right. And he was saying some guys that will remain nameless are just like, oh, I don't do that. I don't go on my social media and promote the events that I'm on. That's just not my thing. Like, so what then makes you elite to me if you can't do what my other top guys do, Larry Legend and Schlatt, promote the show, get buys, I break them off $150, $50, $75 for the buys that they get. Why can't you do that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes no sense. Because if they are talking about Alex Colon, he does promote the shows that he's on. Like he promoted the Wrestling Revolver show, and he promoted he posted the Circle 6 shit, and then like.
But he was a surprise for Circle 6.
He was a surprise for Circle 6.
So he wasn't like up to this show, like posting like, "Hey guys."
Nah, he just pulled up in a hoodie and started beating up Atticus.
He was posting the Wrestling Revolver show with.
Well, that's because he's Sammy's kid. Okay, in a lot of ways, Sammy. I mean, he's not, but he is. So like anything that Sammy is like the Chris and Richie and Mox. Okay, is going to be involved in Revolver. JT Dunn. Those are all Sammy's kids. Like. They're going to listen to whatever Sammy does and promote what he does, kind of like the Kirks and DeMonto, you know?
It's remained to be seen if I'm wrong or not, because Alex Colon has not been announced for South of Heaven.
Yet.
So
maybe he'll just show up.
We might have to correct our corrections, but as of right now,
sure
he's
he'll
gone.
be there.
Oh, well, yeah, Pat's sure.
We'll see.
We'll see. Larry's not sure.
Any announced
matches? I mean, I don't like being sure about anything. I don't like knowing too much because then I'm just like phony. Like the shit being like G-Raver coming out and Here Comes Revenge was as new of a thing for me as it was to every motherfucker in that goddamn fucking hardball room. I'm like, whoa, what is this? So I like not knowing shit, sometimes to my own detriment.
Fair.
Like, I didn't know that JJ Allin was going to jump off the balcony in a seated position on a goddamn fucking patio chair trying
Broke
to
his
impale
little fucking tailbone, man.
Trying to impale Kid Osborne, tried to kill him.
He missed.
Yeah, and then
I have a great video. I have a great video of that. I have a great angle of that happening. I wish we could play it.
Sent the fans wild.
Oh my God, it was insane. I felt so bad.
It was definitely hurt.
I'll have you know that I have sent the Zoom link to JJ Allin on Instagram.
Escobar.
JJ Escobar.
Well, okay, can I see now? I'm confused because when is he JJ Escobar?
I will explain to you the confusion in names.
Please.
Rob Black likes to brand fuckers like Terex. Terex is Terex. Everywhere else, the definition of pain Terex. When he's at XPW, he's T-Rex. Okay? He's letter T Rex when he's in XPW. Same thing with JJ Allin. He is JJ Allin far and wide. When he's with XPW, he's JJ Escobar.
Are you sure about that, Larry? How sure are you of that? What's your percentage of sure mint?
Give us a percentage, Larry.
You say
because we're gonna ask the man himself. So now I don't think that's true. I think he's JJ Escobar because he says Escobar season.
Well, Brian, then why did you say Allin on the damn thing?
Because he is. This is a confusing thing. He has both names. He goes by both monikers.
How many Instagram accounts?
Okay, but hold on. And what I'm saying,
there's one Instagram account.
But I think his wrestling name might be JJ.
If there's
Escobar.
One Instagram account and it's JJ Allin, then we branded it correctly. Who the hell is this Escobar character?
All I'm saying is that
Escobar season, baby.
Dude, would you let me fucking talk? It's like my first
Larry.
interview.
Oh, Larry, you got us in trouble. Brian, you got us in trouble with Larry.
I'm sorry, I was doing so well the whole time.
It's all right.
All right. So go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry. Please don't yell at us.
All I'm trying to say is that in my experience of like being in the wrestling biz, the only time I ever heard of JJ Escobar was when I found out that JJ Allin wrestled for XPW and he wrestled under the name JJ Escobar in XPW. That is the only JJ Escobar I've ever heard of is at XPW. I have heard of JJ Allin before I got into XPW, but when I first heard of JJ Escobar, it was at XPW. That's all I'm saying.
That confused me.
I'm
more
pretty
confused.
sure that when he's in a wrestling ring, he's JJ Escobar. Like when he wrestled John Wayne Murdoch and he did the whole crotch fucking
explosion.
And I saw that as JJ Allin. I didn't see that as JJ Escobar. I saw that as JJ Allin. That is when I first heard of this man.
All right, well, we're going to hear the goddamn words out of the goddamn horse's mouth.
Yeah, well, just wait. Get him on.
Now Brian, he's a horse?
Brian, could you send JJ...
Sean.
Could you send JJ the link to how?
I sent it.
The chat has got to be chiming in about this name. Look at the chat, someone, and tell them what are they saying.
Sometimes I just like to. Oh, here he comes. Hold on.
There he is. Okay, we're gonna find out right now. It's like Maury. We're gonna find out right now.
I think the man just has audio. It's just an audio boy, an audio interview for us.
Oh wow, incredible! So
man, the leader of POR Stunts, the pro wrestling terrorist, JJ Allin. That's your intro.
JJ, you with us?
You might be muted.
JJ, tap your screen. Make sure you're not muted.
He's connecting audio. I'm seeing that he's connecting. I think we got him.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We got you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Brian, I want you to do the intro.
Want me to do it again?
Yeah,
you
did a good one.
Do it again.
We have the leader of POR Stunts and the pro wrestling terrorist himself, JJ Allin. Now, I'm going to get right into it, JJ. JJ Allin and JJ Escobar are one and the same, or are they two different entities?
That's a good question. Probably two different entities because that sounds kind of weird, but yeah. Yeah, JJ Allin is my stunt name. JJ Escobar is my wrestling name. That honestly kind of started as a joke. I used to tell my friends back in the day that if I was a porn star, I'd be JJ Alejandro. If I was a wrestler, I'd be JJ Escobar. My rap name would be Jizzmaster J. I was on some stupid shit back in the day.
So you always got a double J. You're always a double J.
Double J always, though. That's the only consistent in my life, though. Yeah. My bad, though. I had to download Skype and all that. I don't know what was going on, but I'm glad I can hear you guys. It's good to be heard.
You sound crystal clear.
Hey, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for being on the program. I'm a little upset that you don't have video because I was just going to put you on a spot and say just to do a stunt, just to jump off of something while on the call with us.
I don't got the ski mask on me, man. I don't like people to know what I look like without the mask.
And that's immediately what I thought. I immediately was exactly like, he doesn't have the ski mask, so we're getting audio only, like a true mask superstar. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That was a good intro, though. I like that.
Thank you. Appreciate you. So I really want
Brian is not. He's not only good at introductions. He knows his shit because we were debating before you got on. Whether the Escobar was your XPW name, like I know, like with Terex is Terex everywhere else, but in XPW he's T-Rex. So I had heard of JJ Allin, but I guess I heard you through your stunts first.
Yeah, I did stunts for like 15 years before I ever wrestled. So I've been wrestling for like 7 years now. But yeah, I wanted to like just change it up, I guess. Adopting the last name Escobar is like the most notorious, one of the most notorious last names. So I mean,
Allin and Escobar are both fucking.
Yeah, Allin's actually my middle name. A lot of people don't realize that Allin's actually my middle name, and
but not spelled like that, eh?
No, it's not spelled I-N. No, it's spelled E-N.
So, what I want to know is how are you feeling since, what was it, broken, beaten, scarred when you took that fucking crazy fucking jump with the chair?
Yeah, I'm feeling broken, beaten, scarred. Yeah, I feel pretty damn good. Especially the last month or so, I've been feeling really good. I'm like 6 months out of my recovery right now. I was moving around the ring yesterday, actually, and one of the guys was like, "Man, it's like you never left." And I was like, "Oh, that's what I want to hear." Mainly, it's a lot of mental now. Now it's like when I go to do something, I'm like, "Can I still do that? Like, I'm like, can I still like jump over the ropes like I used to?" Yeah, like no more balcony jumps for sure. I'm never gonna do another balcony jump. That's for damn sure. That was not fun. That was a scary experience.
Bro, watching the fucking vice that you do, that shit looked fucking tame. Yeah. That fucking balcony jump compared to the shit that you guys do at that ranch was like tame shit.
So for you viewers watching at home, JJ Allin is the stunt name. JJ Escobar is the wrestling name. So what Brian's referring to is when JJ Escobar jumped off the balcony while sitting in a long lawn chair through a door.
Patio chair. A hard plastic patio chair.
Yeah, a patio chair. Look it up.
Yeah.
Like, comment, share, subscribe that. But JJ Escobar, now I'm confused. JJ Allin is the name of the stunts, which Brian is referring to the Vice documentary about POR Stunts. What does POR stand for? I'm a noob. Speak to me like I don't know anything and did no research.
POR stands for Profits of Regret. I came up with that when I was very young. Like, I was pretty damn young, like 12 or 13. For a long time, I didn't even realize even what it meant. It just sounded really cool. And it was the name that we ran with for a while. There's a big pattern in my life where something starts off as a joke or something starts off just as, like off the cuff, and it sticks with me. But yeah, just call me JJ. JJ works. That's good enough for me. But POR Stunts, we formed in the late 90s. I'm about to show my age here. But yeah, we began filming content, which we basically wanted to do like extreme sports. Everything was extreme back in the day, like extreme wrestling, extreme stunts, extreme skateboarding, everything was extreme in the 90s. I don't know if y'all.
Yeah, it wasn't called content.
We remember.
It wasn't called content back then either. It was you were just being awesome. Just doing awesome shit.
Right, yeah.
With your friends,
The X Games and all that. I got a video camera when I was young. It was one of the first things I asked for Christmas. I had to wait all year. Got a video camera. Began filming my friends doing like BMX and skateboarding, and I was doing it myself. But long story short, we pretty much all sucked at BMX and skateboarding. We wasn't very talented. So we began setting ourselves up for failure, basically. And then I started uploading videos online, and they started getting like mad traction. Like they would be featured on like the home pages of MySpace and stuff. And I just log on to MySpace.
World.
Yeah, E-Bombs World, Break.com was a big one. And then one day I got a call from True TV, and they were like wanting to license my video from me. And they were like, "What's your rate for a video?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "How much money do you want?" And I was probably like 17 when they called. I didn't know anything. I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, what? And they're like, well, what do you usually charge for a video? And this is my first video I ever licensed to a network. And they're like, "What's $1,000? Does that sound good to you?" And I was like, "Holy shit, yeah, $1,000 sounds great." But I was trying to act like, oh yeah, 1,000 is great. That's cool. And from there, we kind of like branded it and started like a business out of it. And a lot of our clips got featured on, like.
And it was always POR. It was always POR from the beginning.
Yes, it was always POR from the beginning. And then we just kind of snowballed, and we started getting featured on TV shows and stuff, and it just grew from there, and we branded it. And then we got the Vice gig last year, and we continue to do stuff like that, like make appearances that, bucket list stuff that.
You met the Vice guy at the gathering, right? He fucked up the shit.
Yeah, that's correct. That's a whole podcast in itself, the gathering experience. Yeah, that was last year. I met them, and we got our stunt show shut down. And I was telling them, I was like, "Yo, you guys need to come to our property. Like nobody can shut us down there. The only person that can say no is me. Like you got to come here." And that's how we got the Vice gig, though, because we literally got our car taken. The Juggalos flipped our car because the cops shut it down. They were so mad they basically had a riot. And
that's fucking legendary.
What did you do to shut the gathering down? That had to be something very, very serious if it shut the gathering down.
We did half of our stunts. We performed at the gathering for 5 years, stunt shows. And we were superhuman the last time, which was pretty freaking ridiculous. It was pretty funny. They love him there for sure. But we were in the tent. We did like 5 stunts in the tent, and then we were supposed to do 5 stunts outside of the tent. And a big thing that we do with POR is car stunts. Like we have always been like real heavy on car stunts. So my buddy was gonna do his flip over the ladder that you saw on the Vice special. He does a gainer flip. It's like a standing backflip over a moving car while the car hits the ladder. We had like 3,000 people. We had like a one lane width for a car and about 3,000 people on the sides. So they got there. The security was like, yo, this is a huge liability. You're about to have a car flying through here. It's going to hit a ladder. Like you guys cannot do this. We already had it cleared with psychopathic and all that, but I don't think they understood like how gnarly we were trying to go. And then they literally stole our ladder. And then the act of the cops doing that pretty much incited a riot, which when it was happening, I was like, damn, we're getting our show shut down. But then when everything started really happening with the car getting flipped and stuff, like the 15-year-old me was like, holy shit, dude, we just caused a riot. This is awesome.
It got you the fucking Vice documentary, dude.
Yeah, and it got me the Vice documentary, which is a cool story in itself as well.
Fuck yeah.
And they invited us back at Hallowicked as well, which is their like Halloween show they do every year. So we still got, love from Psychopathic and whatnot, but it was just the owners and the cops that had a problem with us launching a ladder at 2,000 people.
Right, the cops don't like you. They probably fucking love you.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, man, I would love to see it too myself, but we got to be safe. We can't have a ladder launching at knocking somebody's teeth out or something.
Sure you can.
So is the car that
make them go farther back?
So this is the car that you drove to the gathering, is the car that you're going to use in this stunt, and they flipped that car over.
Yeah, that was a pain in the fucking ass too, getting that car there, because we had to get a car dolly, because it was like we used like junker cars with like blown head gaskets.
So you brought a stunt car with you.
Yeah, it was a stunt car.
Yes.
Yeah, we tied it to a dolly, and it was a pain in the ass getting it there. And then the good thing was we didn't have to take it back though. That was cool. Was
the plan not to have the car be destroyed anyway? Were you not planning on the car crashing and fucking burning no matter what? Because you were gonna
it was a benefit not having to bring it back. I do know that, but we did have full intentions of bringing it back.
Word.
But it was cool that we didn't have to, because we literally got taken away on forklift. Like the owner of the property came in with a forklift, hooked it up, and they were about to set it on fire. They were trying to set
that's
it on
legendary
fire.
shit.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good day at the office.
Larry, how many times have you ring announced for JJ?
Only twice now, I think.
Yeah, I believe it's twice. Yeah.
Only 2 times now. Yeah. But we did get to have another interaction not too long ago, and we didn't talk about this on the podcast. But the world premiere of Stabbed in the Face, the documentary about the world's most dangerous band, Eat the Turnbuckle, and there was a Q&A, and JJ, you and some of the cats from POR, you crashed the whole damn thing, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. That was nobody saw that coming either. It was fucking great. I came out with the weed whacker, fired it up, did our thing,
and
got
the
up on
Blvd Bullies
stage.
shirt.
Yep, I was rocking the bull. And yeah, I got a beef with you, Larry. You intercepted me on that, and I was rocking your shirt, man.
Your back was to him. He couldn't see your shirt.
So
here's the thing.
Wait a second here. Are you telling me that during this film premiere Q&A, Larry, were you the MC of this?
I was the MC. I was working the room.
JJ interrupted it with by ripping on a weed whacker, and Larry,
he came out with the Tarzanian devil.
Oh my God, former champion, Brian's former champion.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's all coming full circle. And what, you thwarted them both?
Well, they were making a shambles of the thing. They attacked Schlack. I mean, JJ, old school. You know where your bread is buttered. So I wasn't up there for my health. I was up there to do a job. If you beat Schlack, if you hurt Schlack, then maybe Larry doesn't even get anything. So I had to protect my investment. I came up there to do a job, and here you come. You're gonna fuck up the money.
And Larry, you didn't notice that he was wearing a Blvd Bullies smoking skull tank top, now available on BlvdBullies.BigCartel.com?
Of course, I noticed that, but I also noticed Schlack on his knees and JJ with a damn weed whacker about to come down on him, and I just, I had to act.
Just went into defense mode, blacked out.
I blacked out. I don't remember what happened, but all was well at the end of it, and everybody had a memorable close to the premiere. I don't think anyone expected it to end that way, myself included.
Is that your apology? Is that your apology to JJ, Larry?
I don't think there's not an
apology
apology.
To our guests.
I just want to. I want to hear now JJ's perspective here of the whole debacle.
So I wrestled Slack several years ago. He hit me with a car. He blew me up with a mortar.
I remember that.
El Schlacko.
Yes, I now remember that as well.
That was the backyard too.
He beat the hell out of me.
Oh God, that was brutal.
He beat the living hell out of me to the point where I'm like,
real glass.
Yeah, he beat the living hell out of me to the point where I was like, man, I don't ever want to wrestle that guy again. But if I ever get that guy, catch him off guard, I'm going to catch that guy off guard. So I showed up when he least suspected it with my two cronies, Tarzan Duran and Jesse Daniels. We had Schlack on his knees, tied up. I was revving the weed whacker, and I was about to hit that guy like he hit me. And I get turned around, and I get lifted off my feet by a nut shot kick from the pits of hell. He kicked my nuts into my fucking throat.
Larry?
And
all right.
I fall onto the ground, and then Schlack headbutts the two cronies, fires up the weed whacker, and starts assaulting me with a weed whacker.
Right in between the legs with it. He went right in between his legs with it.
To be fair, JJ, your nuts should be made of steel with all these crazy stunts that you do, brother. Like the shit that you do, that shouldn't have even affected you. You should have just stood there.
Yeah, well, you could tell that to me sitting back there with ice on my nuts after Larry Legend got a hold of me. All my buddies were sitting there replaying the video and laughing about how much air I got off the kick, because like when he kicked me, I literally got like 2 feet up in the air, and I was like, "Damn, man!" Like,
Larry's got powerful feet.
What did I do to deserve this? But
JJ, look, I got nothing but love for you, brother. But at the end of the day, Larry Legend, I wear the blazer, I wear the captain's hat. I'm up there, I'm doing my job. And I didn't want to go home empty-handed, so I figured I might as well give you what for. You could take it. All the things I've seen you take. I just wanted to even the odds, because none of Schlack's bandmates were doing a damn thing. They were standing there at the wings of the stage watching Schlack like on his knees about to be maimed.
JJ's terrifying, dude. He had a fucking weed whacker, dude.
Yeah, but there's like 5 of them. It's 5 of them. It was 3 of them.
They're supposed to be the world's most dangerous band.
They're retired. They're retired from being dangerous.
We get squashed. We get squashed.
All right, it's squashed. Ringside Sean.
All right, thank you.
Do you have a question for JJ?
I do. JJ, you say you started wrestling 7 years ago. If there's one thing that JJ from today can go back 7 years ago to tell yourself, what would it be?
Don't jump off that.
That's good. I mean, dude, that was such a sick spot, dude.
Yeah.
Are you saying you wouldn't do it again if you had gone back to do it?
I mean, it was cool and all, but that is like a common stunt that we do, like in the homegrown stunt community. We call it take a seat. And there's like, I've done that stunt fucking a dozen times.
Have you done it? I feel like you've done it from higher.
Yeah, I've done it from much higher. I did it over a moving car one time. Like, completely cleared the car.
Fucking insane.
But I mean, that's one of those things where I've done it so many times that I wasn't even stressing it. I didn't even think it was like that big of a deal. And looking back, I should have maybe used like
calculated
2 or 3 more doors. Yeah. Or like if my stunt friends had been there, they might have, been able to, plan that one out better. You were
solo, boy.
I mean, there is a photo of you just in a dead sitting position in midair. That is perfect.
I have the shirt. The shirt, dude.
That is a pretty good photo. I mean, that might make it worth it.
Shit. Dude, I'm gonna tell you, it's just a legendary thing that I personally will never forget, and everybody standing in that little circle too will never forget it. And we appreciate it.
It was loud.
Yeah, we're glad we're glad that you're able to talk about it today, JJ. But I got a real hard hitting question for you. Do you feel any responsibility for I don't know if you remember, but a few years back, John Wayne Murdoch went out there. I think it was in Colorado or something, and the guy that he was working wanted to go for this. He wanted to go for a viral moment. He wanted to go for a moment that would go viral and, I guess, send his career skyrocketing. And he told John to give him the Southern Destroyer like off the top of a fucking scaffold. And then, he ended up becoming a quadriplegic off of that. In the rare instance that things like that happen, do you ever feel like that you have some responsibility to like make disclaimers about like, we're trained professionals, or like, if you're going to do this, be smart about it? Or do you just think that, some people are just out there to, just live life to the fullest and take, whatever consequences may come for their actions?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I could probably go on about that for a while. I always like take it back to like people never told me to like not do it. The people that I looked up to never like came to me and told me like, hey, dude, don't do that. So like that's kind of like hard for me to like tell someone else who's trying to, make a moment out of something. With this, it's like I come from both the worlds, the stunts and the wrestling. I've gotten it more in the stunt realm than I have with the wrestling. I've definitely had some like people like do things that I've done in like stunts and like gotten really hurt, like severely sometimes. Like this one guy like popped his testicle from doing a nut shot, something that I do like that I did, and like I did stunts a lot, but like a lot of my stuff were like shock value. And just like blunt force maneuvers and stuff like that.
Dude, in the documentary, there was someone huffing fire and he was like in a coma.
Yeah, that's another one too.
Insane
like fire.
Shit, dude.
Like I do a lot of fire stunts, a lot of car stunts, a lot of like shock value stunts, and there's definitely been some like people copying our stuff. There was this group of kids from my hometown actually that found exactly where we filmed certain things at and was recreating like our stunts, and they're like 12 years old, like driving their bicycle into road signs and stuff. And I did feel guilty about that. I was like, man, like, but like, how do you like, it's dude, hard to tell.
It's not, you can't prevent that shit, dude.
Yeah.
You're just being yourself, and like people that find it are going to do what they do. So you can't fucking tell people what to do. And yeah, you put disclaimers. I feel like there's disclaimers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the wrestling though, like my group of friends, they definitely do try to my group of wrestlers, they do try to like match up my energy, and like, we're always in like competition, like of who's gonna like kind of steal the show, steal the moment on our
it's gonna be craziest.
Or like at home shows, I'm like, who's gonna outperform who's gonna get the match of the day. And that's good, like to have like those like friendly rivalries, but yeah, when it gets like, I don't know, like that I know the clip you're talking about, and I know people that were there, and they've talked about it to me, and yeah, it just kind of gives me like a bad like like a pit in my stomach type thing. Like it just I don't know, but
now can I ask you real quick? Did your incident with having your crotch set on fire by Eric Ryan, did that happen before that Murdoch incident out there?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I was on another podcast at the time, and it was just kind of a regular wrestling cover WWE, AEW type thing. And I remember there was like this not a huge uproar, but people on the podcast that really didn't know the deathmatch community were like, well, one leads to the other. This one guy setting his crotch on fire and getting all this traction about it, because that was really the flavor of the minute. Everyone was talking about that footage. And then you, by cause and effect, have another guy trying to top that. So that's where my question came from about the responsibility that you feel, kind of doing really daring, dastardly, shocking things, and what others might kind of like be like, oh, I want to be JJ Allin to the 15th degree or something, just trying to.
It's the same thing, dude. It's the same thing like playing in a fucking heavy band. When you play in a heavy band, you want to be the heaviest fucking band. So when someone makes a heavy song, you want to make something heavier than they fucking made it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but no one's gonna die or get quadriplegic from making music, bro.
No,
I'm just saying,
but dude,
you
it's
know?
it's just a way of life, though, dude. Like people live their lives a certain way.
Hey,
to
everybody,
be happy.
welcome to the show, Blvd Bullies versus the World. We got JJ Allin on this week.
JJ's here.
JJ, give me your top 5. I'm never going to watch these. I have a very queasy stomach. And, like, if I see a video where someone's about to fall on their head or get hit in their nuts, I'll quickly try to scroll away with my thumb.
I'm absolute opposite. I live for it.
Brian, we know that about you,
Brian,
but
we know that.
I'm just saying.
Let JJ know.
JJ, give us your top 5 all time. You said you started in the 90s. Give me top 5 all time most insane / sickening / injury creating stunts that you've done.
That I've done or that I've seen and like been a part of.
Oh, just whatever you want at this point.
Yeah,
It's gotta be personal. I want to know JJ.
My group has suffered some insane injuries. A lot of broken bones. My buddy, he was supposed to. We did the fireball haircut stunt where you blow a fireball in the back of somebody's head and it lights their hair on fire. You have water close by in a wet towel, and you take it out with a wet towel or water. He had previously done that stunt a couple times, so he wanted to spice it up a bit. So he did it from the front, like he was standing facing the fireball, took the fireball to the face, and his clothing caught on fire. And, he ended up inhaling some of the flames, and it scorched his lungs, and he had to be put in a medically induced coma for 30 days. That is probably like the gnarliest stunt that has ever happened, where we're like, oh my God, it was like very life-threatening.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget hearing that story.
Yeah, the take a seat stunt that I did at XPW where I broke my back, that one's pretty bad because it had a lot of things could have really went wrong for me. I could have not been able to use my legs. Like the L1 vertebrae controls the legs. My buddy Todd, this is one of the craziest ones. Like
I don't think I can make it past 3 or 4.
Pat,
all right,
get out of the room,
go.
Pat. Leave the room. God damn
it.
My buddy tied his nut to a rope and then tied the other end to a tree. He was standing on a set of bleachers.
I'm taking my
took off running off this set of bleachers.
I just took him out. I'm just looking at Sean's face. I'm not even.
He took off running off this set of bleachers, and he jumped out about 6 feet, but the rope would only allow him 3 feet. So he got ripped by his nuts, and his nuts were hanging out of his sack, like his nutsack really open.
This motherfucker's these guys, they do fucking flips onto fucking stacks of 2x4s and go through the 2x4s straight nuts, dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah, then the fire incident with Eric Ryan, I had 15% of my lower body burned in that one. And that was also a stunt that I've done a lot. Like I've done that, I've been lit on fire 30 fucking times. That was just too much lighter fluid, not a good enough water crew at hand. And just, there's a lot of difference between stunts and wrestling. Like when we're doing a stunt, we have everything like checked and all the cameramen are in like a certain location. In wrestling though, it's honestly more gnarly.
Right, it's all on the spot.
It's just go, 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 go. Like when I'm on that balcony, I can't be like, hey, the cameraman's out of place.
Right. It's all very quick. It's scary shit.
It's a lot of just like fucking go, 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 go. Like when Eric Ryan had me on the ground with the lighter fluid, he sprayed a lot of lighter fluid on me, and I knew that, and I was like, holy shit. And you can see in the video, I start grabbing my pant, like my waistline immediately, because I knew that I had to get naked. Like I knew, like I had to. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to get naked in front of 200 people right now. It fucking sucks.
Damn, dude.
But yeah, I could go on and on, but a lot of broken bones, a lot of head head trauma and stuff. Honestly, out of all the stuff that we've done, we've been very, very fortunate, and no one has been,
murdered,
severely maimed,
dead, yeah, killed.
Knock on wood, AJ.
Yeah, knock on wood. Hey,
sorry. Knock on wood, JJ.
Ooh, and it's shocking because you do sound hauntingly normal to talk to. It's just
It's always the normal ones.
It's creeping me out. Yeah, it's creeping
JJ is the fucking man. Thank you for fucking everything, dude.
Larry,
JJ,
did you have
what is?
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
JJ, what?
I got one.
Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, you
after
go. You go, Sean. You go, Sean. You go.
Thank you.
We're a mess here,
I have to
JJ.
know. Listen, I watch a lot of like horror movies, and what you just like explained to me about your boy and the rope and his nuts reminded me of Hostel. You guys do some gnarly stunts. What is your most like favorite like goriest horror movie?
Oh wow, that's a shit. The Saw movies are pretty fucking wild. I know that's a fucking generic answer.
Yes, sir. No, it's good though.
Cat Martini said the same answer.
Sinister's cool too. The Sinister movies are pretty wicked. I always love like Michael Myers and Jason. I like the new kills on like the new Texas Chainsaw, like the light tube where he killed. It was Texas Chainsaw, right? He killed him with a light tube. That was pretty cool. I watch all those for sure. I was a big like.
I think that was Halloween, JJ. I think that was Halloween, JJ.
Yeah.
The light
Did
tube,
y'all play?
The light tube spot was a Halloween.
Have you ever played the Friday the 13th game on Nintendo? Like
the old school one.
Oh
like
yes,
the old one. It's impossible to beat.
It's the hardest game ever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yep.
Yeah. Madman Pondo told me to watch a Serbian film, but I'm afraid to.
Oh God, yeah. I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
We're supposed to talk about a
you
Serbian
gotta
film.
watch it.
Brian loves it, I'm sure.
Pat rolled his eyes. He doesn't want to talk about it.
I don't watch those types of things.
It's
I'm surprised that when you asked,
Pat doesn't even watch stunts.
when you asked JJ what his favorite film is, I'm so pleasantly surprised he didn't immediately say Serbian film. I would have bet all my money
Serbian film.
he would
God
have said
damn
that.
it. Pat doesn't even understand.
I understand enough to stay in my
quality
lane.
horror.
I get very
It's
easily
the definition of horror. It's a horror.
You know what ranks right up there with a Serbian film is Salo.
Yes.
Yes.
My
I was at
talks about that movie.
I was eating at Denny's one time with Schlack and Madman Pondo, and they were like, "You gotta watch this fucking movie, Serbian film." And I was like, "Man, I'll get around to it." I still haven't watched it yet. I like did the Google thing, and I was like, "Whoa, this is fucked up."
It's dark. It's a dark journey. It's a dark journey, dude.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch. All right,
Thank
I
you,
got
Larry.
one for JJ. As an announcer.
And by the way, sorry to interrupt you, Larry. If anybody watching has any questions, please place them down so I can read them and interrupt Larry to ask them. Go ahead, Larry.
As an announcer, I love, and I've mentioned on this cast a lot, that I love when guys give me things to embellish, during the intro. And when the first time that I ever announced, I said, "Where are you from?" And you said, "You're from the murder capital where they murder for capital," which immediately rang in my ears because I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. But in the moment, I was like, "What song is that?" I know that's a Jay-Z line, and that's from Lucifer, from off of the Black album. Yeah.
Take him out of earth.
So what I have a question for you. Why don't you pick that as your walkout?
Yeah, that would be good. I've thought about using that opening line like before, like that hook before the like the song I use now. I use Impossible Brutality by Creator.
So good. It's so good.
Yeah, I think they're one of like the most underrated fucking metal bands ever. I mean,
One of the
everybody
best
knows,
thrash
a lot of
bands.
people knows who Creator is, but they should be up there with like Metallica and all them. Like, for real. Like they should be held up into that like level, because that's one of my favorite bands for sure. That was honestly the first song I chose was that song, and I've just stuck with it. I think like I don't like it when people switch up their songs a lot, so maybe eventually I'll do it, and I'll be
I like the juxtaposition of that type of music and that type of bar in your actual intro. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like, what am I looking at right here? The ski mask, the bar as your hometown. It's it all meshes well. So I like that. But that's what I'm like. I wonder why you don't just come out to a Jay-Z song, like
Creator is the best.
Yeah, Jay-Z's my favorite rapper though, for sure, by far.
We're getting praise in the chat for Creator as well. JJ, where can we see you? Where can we follow you? Where can we support you? Where can we buy your stuff? Where are you going to be performing live? What's the deal?
POR Stunts is the website. That's where everything pretty much is. You can find everything on PORstunts.com. I am wrestling this weekend in Detroit for Horror Slam. I'm wrestling old timer Jeff King, which is going to be pretty cool.
I love Horror Slam, and I love Jeff King. He's rare.
I fucking love Jeff King. God damn, he's rare.
I'm pretty stoked about that. That's a cool one. I didn't get a confirmation back. I asked a certain someone. You guys still there?
Yep,
we're here. Yeah. We're here.
Okay. It clicked out for a minute, but I just checked my inbox to see if he confirmed it. I do have a cool announcement coming up though, for a certain promotion. It should be dropping soon, but I messaged the guy right before and was like, "Yo, can I announce that one?" But I don't want to do it unless he tells me I can. So
I've been there before. I've been there before. Remember MVP?
No one watches this. No one watches this. No one watches this show, JJ. No one would know if you said it.
Well, MVP mentioned that he was on Lucha Underground before it was announced, and he lost the gig. Remember that?
Wow.
Yep. I don't think
you gotta put bad vibes, Larry.
I don't think
I'm just saying, you know.
Our big event though, the Hardcore Grand Prix 4, we're doing that October 1st at our spot in Virginia. If you want to fucking get on that, come as a crowd member or whatever, fucking message me. We'll send you the address. It's one of those like you got to know a punk type things. Like we share the address with people, but it's invite only type deal.
Yeah,
but we usually get a pretty good turnout, and that will be on that will definitely be on IWTV or maybe another streaming platform. I'm still working on that. So sorry, I can't.
We might be there. We might come. We might come to that.
That'd be amazing. That'd be cool. It's the night after XPW.
In September. Shit. So probably not. God damn it.
I don't know, JJ. I might be in that neck of the woods. You know, the night after.
Yeah, you're in Maryland.
Yeah.
Brian, maybe that's the night you finally just quit your job and go on the road full time, getting hit in the balls.
Christ.
He wants to be a roadie. Deathmatch roadie.
Hey, I can announce this though. It's my thing. So we do have Madman Pondo in that tournament. We have myself, a bunch of the POR guys, and I haven't announced it yet. So I am going to give you guys something right now. We're got Shane Mercer for that show as well.
Oh,
so
fucking Iron Demon.
Yep, the Iron Demon hit.
That's fucking dope as fuck.
He wrestled at our last event. He wrestled this guy Kamikaze, who's like one of our up and coming guys.
yeah.
And one of the videos I posted on my personal Instagram got 18 million views from that match.
Wow.
Fucking crazy. I couldn't even open my Instagram for a couple of days. It was just like flooded with notifications. I was like, holy shit, this is wild. So yeah, Shane Mercer broke my fucking Instagram for like a week or two. That was cool.
He would do that, that big fuck.
Thank you, Shane Mercer. We're getting a question from loyal listener, watcher, viewer, John Richter. When JJ did the leap, was that specifically to film for POR, or were Lucky 13 and Kit supposed to break your fall? I don't know if they were supposed to break his fall with the damn legs of the chairs coming at them.
He would have killed them.
So Lucky was hanging Kit over the edge and like choking him. And then when I jumped, Kit obviously fucking fought back and moved out of the way. And then I crashed and burned, They call that move a boneless in skateboarding, I think. That's what Necro Butcher called it. He's like, he did a fucking boneless off the top.
Some Tony Hawk stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. We're getting reports that some of our viewers will be at Horror Slam. Great times. Can we hate on Kit for not catching JJ? Yes. Yes, we can.
Fuck
you heard
it
here
Osborne,
first.
God damn
we can hate on him. It was his fault. You heard JJ say it here. Kit was supposed to get directly underneath the chair and catch him, and he didn't.
With his face.
Yeah.
I make that joke to him and Lucky all the time, though. I'm like, man, you're supposed to catch me. What the fuck happened?
We're getting. No, Adam, you do not get any questions. Your first two questions were very bad, so I'm not going to get tricked into asking your third one. Anything else for JJ, guys?
I don't know. I just want to say thank you, JJ, and I just want you to know I hope I see you in the ring again at XPW soon.
Word up.
Hell yeah, thanks for being here.
I hold you in a very special place in my heart. That's what I thought you were going to say, Brian. But you do, don't you?
Say it, Brian.
Yeah, you guys will see me soon. I'll be there in Newark. I'll be in attendance, and I'll be checking it out. And stay tuned for for more announcements on everything in my life. We got Beavis and Butthead coming up too. We're going to be on Beavis and Butthead.
No way.
Legendary
nice.
shit.
What?
We got
That's
something really,
legendary.
we got something really, really big like in the mix too that I can't talk about.
Bigger than
but
Beavis and Butthead.
Bigger than Beavis and Butthead. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sick.
I will
Well,
say
hopefully
that,
we can
so.
have you on to break that news to everybody out there, JJ.
Yes,
yeah,
it was
we're
a
on
pleasure. It was a fucking
IWTV.
pleasure, dude.
All of our wrestling's on IWTV. Check it out. POR Wrestling, PORstunts.com. And yeah, you guys, thanks for having me.
Yo, thank you,
Thank
man.
you, man.
Everybody say
Yeah,
thank you,
thanks for
JJ.
coming on, JJ.
Thank you, JJ. Bye-bye, JJ. Everybody say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, JJ.
Bye-bye.
Don't y'all ever forget he's from the murder capital where they murder for capital.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
What a
awesome.
guy. What
I
a
think-
guy.
I think,
What an interview.
I think that might have been my favorite guest so far.
That
It
was
was
dope.
just
had a
audio. We
few.
should just have it just audio all the time.
I think
We had a
I
few.
I definitely did. I wish we could figure. I should have had my camera on too, but I was taking my headphones out during whatever the ball and tree story was. I just took my headphones completely out and then just checked back. And then I heard, like, I put my headphone back in, I heard, and then 6/10 of my body, then I took my headphone out again. And then it was like 50% of the leg function, and I took my headphone
Why
out
are you
again.
so squeamish?
Some of
Why
those
are you so
stories seemed
squeamish?
a little bit horrendous and gruesome.
Yeah. It's
Son said
stunts.
he said he
I mean,
ran
I
across
guess,
the
Pat, you
bleachers
really
and ripped
gotta-
his balls.
Yeah, you really gotta have a horror background. Like I watched horror with my mom.
Hey, you don't like seeing
from
fucked up shit, dude?
Yeah,
I
like-
I love a
fucked up
nice
shit.
horror
And it's all-
movie. Yeah.
also-
for sure.
also-
yo, you don't.
also,
because
I
that's
used to
like
watch
a
a lot of,
live
like-
horror movie.
I used to watch a lot of like nature shows, you know, like Wild America and shit, where you would
The
just,
wild
like, see, like,
boar
yeah,
is a wild
yeah,
animal
bro, they would-
here in
they
the
would rip
African
rabbits
preserve.
apart. Rabbits
That
would
was
be
such a good
screaming
movie.
and
You ever see
shit.
the movie Wild America with the
The
boys that go
cheetah
on the
is
ship?
a
They go on the
Listen
ship,
to me.
the brothers.
I'll fuck around
God
with
damn
some.
it,
I'll
Jonathan
fuck around
Taylor
with some
Thomas.
Discovery Channel. I'll fuck around with some deathmatch wrestling. Okay, don't tell me that I'm not cultured because I don't want to see whatever happened between
I'm
the guy's
not
balls and the rope
cultured.
in the tree. I don't want to see or hear about that. All right, I'm sorry.
Pat, did
I'm
you ever
sorry.
did you ever watch Faces of Death?
Oh no, and you
He
know what? Let me
definitely
tell you
did.
something else. I had
He
a
barely
fucking
probably
guy.
watched Jackass.
I worked with a guy who would we had iPads as like our main thing. And he would tap me on the shoulder and he'd be like, "Hey, check this out." And I would look, and before I could even look away, it was like a guy shooting himself in the head.
Well, you watching Rotten.com?
That was like his joke.
No,
that was like his funny
listen.
joke.
Listen.
What the
You
hell
have
kind of
described-
world do we live in?
You have described the Iron Demon Shane Mercer to a T, and whoever that guy is that you used to work with.
Could it have been him?
He is exactly. Like, hey, look at this, and it's a puppy getting its head squashed.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. I don't take enjoy.
That's
Look
so
at Brian
sad.
laughing. Look at him maniacally
That's
laughing.
so sad, dude. Because look at Larry
That's
laughing.
so
dude.
sad.
No, you're laughing. You're the one who's laughing. You're sick.
Larry just okay. I'm sorry, but Larry nonchalantly telling that story is very
Well,
funny.
that's a level
the
we're
puppy
on.
dying is not funny. Larry telling that story calmly.
Well, no, I
is
feel like
pretty
you were
funny.
laughing. I feel like you were laughing at the puppy part of it.
I love puppies. I love animals. God damn it.
Me too.
A disclaimer: that video does not exist. That was an example of the type of video.
But it could.
The type of
But it
video.
could. But it
I mean,
could
that type
exist.
of video does exist.
It's out there somewhere.
Just like there's
Serbian
guys,
film.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
guys who'll go, have you ever had a friend who'll be like, hey, look at this, and it's like, 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yep.
Jeez.
Like it's like whoa! I wasn't expecting that, Otter.
No,
Bro,
you know, I
yeah.
feel like
It's like the one guy, one jar.
I don't even
I don't even
know
wanna know.
what that
Brian,
is.
I don't
what?
even know.
Brian, just
Brian, what?
yeah. I mean, I think that I'm
guys
okay
don't
with
know
just
about one guy,
knowing
one
that
jar?
these things do exist, hearing about them, and being like, oh, okay, that's what's on the table here in this world, and knowing that it's there to me is just as good as seeing it. You know.
God damn,
Hey,
Brian.
can we really quickly run down the WWE pay-per-view? Didn't they do a pay-per-view too?
Yeah, it was
Payback,
great.
a PLE premium live event.
It was good.
It was very good, Sean. What happened?
It was
a bunch of things, Brian.
What was it
Well,
called? Payback.
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 And
Yeah,
it was
Payback.
held in the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, yes.
Home of many
black
greats
and yellow,
such
black
as,
and yellow, black and yellow.
The
Bruno
Pittsburgh
San
Steelers,
Martino.
Bruno Sammartino, Ben
know-
Roethlisberger, and Kurt Angle.
Well, I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, I don't think is from Pittsburgh. I think he just played on Pittsburgh.
Well, he played there. He carried that flag.
But you named all other things that were from Pittsburgh, and then Ben Roethlisberger.
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. He's really from there?
Yes, indeed. He has a statue erected. He has a statue erected on the waterfront.
Ben Roethlisberger don't got no statue. He's from fucking Indiana. Oklahoma.
So the big story out that show was the
Shinsky knock.
Judgment Day reigned supreme. They took the tag titles off of KO and Sami Zayn.
Oh wow!
So your new tag champs are
wait a second.
Money in the Bank. Yes.
I'm going to stop you right there. Did I see this? I saw that, but did I see this correctly? That they did a flip flop, snip, snap, snip on Monday Night Raw the next night?
What do you mean? Like the belts change hands again?
What? No, the Judgment Day is our belt collector.
I feel like
now.
I saw
they're
a
belt
photo
collector right now. What was given was JD McDonough gave Damian Priest RVD-esque Money in the Bank, a nice purple one to go along with the theme of the Judgment Day. So that's probably what was swapped out. That you see, Señor Dinero en el Banco. See.
So that you didn't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, I think I might have been misled through maybe a Photoshop thing.
I think you're all wrong, and the best moment of the whole pay-per-view was Trish Stratus telling the fan, "Fuck you."
Yeah, he was like, "You're gonna lose." He was like, "You're gonna lose to the man." She walked up to him and said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, it was like the best, sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, Brian!
So they opened the show.
Alert from Brian.
You mentioned Trish. They opened the show, and I want to kind of say they kind of almost stole the show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yo, bro,
I couldn't even watch anything after that. I said, "This is it."
Yo, Trish left with a unicorn horn, bro. Did you see that unicorn horn?
You know what that was from?
It's brutal.
You know that was from? That was
from
when they were
both
both headbanging. They were both headbanging each other's hair. All you saw was blonde and red hair.
It was wild,
going,
bro.
bah, 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 bah.
They had a crazy match on the previous Monday too. They had like a hardcore match. It was insane, and then they followed it up with an insane cage match.
Yeah, so it was Zoe Stark and Trish at the go home.
Right. Well, the three of them co-mingled during that match. Yeah.
Yep, and then Trish took 2 bumps off the top of the cage. 2 bumps.
Bro, her body was
it was
so
like a
bruised.
superplex and something else,
like
right?
Bruises
She did
all
the
over her.
She did the
She's
manhandle slam and a superplex off the top.
Jesus.
And then after
She's
that,
37.
She's
After
old.
that,
She's old
we
to
had,
be doing the shit that she was doing.
Come on, Brian. You think 50 is old?
Brian thinks that everyone is old.
It's not. No, but is Trish Stratus not old? She's
No.
old to be having that kind of match.
She took 10 years off.
You're
She took
old.
10 years.
You're old when you can't walk through the ropes and somebody has to help you.
Even
That's
when
when
she
you
was
say you're
wrestling, that
old.
was like one of the matches
She's
that she's
middle-aged
having
and
now.
crazy, Brian.
She's middle-aged and crazy. That's all I'm saying. I agree.
She's bad, is what she is.
All right, so then we got the second match. We have LA Knight, who is like constantly being given the microphone. Go, kid. Here's your reign. Go get it. And he keeps messing up. He took on the Miz, and the
John
guest
Cena was the referee, right? Sorry, Sean.
Yes, he was. Brian. John
LA
Cena
Knight
was the guest
exposed.
referee.
Exposed.
To be honest, like I see it, but he doesn't have it. And when they give him the reins, he doesn't know how to
too
use
much
it.
TV time. Too much time.
There was like
so I
SmackDown.
saw on SmackDown. Yeah, and I was like, yo, what is this?
As soon as he was like, I was like, you lost it. You lost the opportunity. But that's not the first time. It happened on Raw. He messed up again. And what's crazy is that, like,
yeah, he switched the word like toilet and mouth or something when he was like trying to diss the Miz.
Miz is giving Homeboy a run for his money. And it's like, yo, why are you giving all the time and energy into this guy when you have me? I can go out there and work another program with Cena, which I think they should do.
And he did the first ever WWE Invisible Man thing last night too.
That was gold.
Yep.
That was gold.
We're talking about the Miz, by the way. We had JJ Allen on the show, but we're also huge Miz fans. We're hoping to one day get him on the show once we're monetized.
Damn right. Rey Mysterio and Austin Theory. Rey Mysterio walks away with the win. Not sure what they're doing with Theory, but it's kind of getting boring. We follow that into a Steel City street fight, which is for the tag team championships.
Because they were in Pittsburgh. And that's where Ben Roethlisberger was born.
Steel City.
Well, Steel City.
He was born of steel and iron.
Like Iron Man.
It's also the home of Roberto Clemente of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Roberto Clemente, born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, Puerto Rico. What are you talking about?
Is it Roberto Clemente, a Mets pitcher?
No, Roberto
Brian.
Clemente was a pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He passed away.
Sean, doctor, continue.
Yes. Anyway, back to the Puerto Rican. I'm trying to talk about
Franco.
Damian Priest. They won the tag titles over at Payback, and they're belt collecting. And he still has a briefcase. I honestly think he's going to be one of those that cashes in, and it's going to be a very long title reign.
Hey, you guys want this fan?
What fan?
You guys want this fan right here?
Screw the fan.
Like Sean, continue, Pat.
Streamlabs.com/Boulevard Bully /tip. Just $6 to get that fan shipped to you. Double
Look at these
sig.
faces, dude. Look at
I thought that was Okada for a second.
Look at that fucking face, dude.
Look at this.
Hey, is that
His
no
whole
damn
life
Okada?
ahead of him.
Okada would fucking hit me with the.
Continue, Sean. I'm sorry. Get a little restless here. Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
Oh, you guys are done?
Well, we're just talking about the fan.
So wait, I have a question.
I was just trying to fan myself.
You guys are done.
Out of the entire Judgment Day, who of the collective are the tag team champions? Is it Dominic and Damian?
No, it's the battle of the heads with Finn and Damian. So
Finn and Damian.
Finn and Damian.
Nasty.
But you got the JD
Nasty.
McDonough, who's a
Finn and
little loose screw in the bunch. Who's
he's in the Judgment Day?
He's not in the Judgment
No,
Day.
he's like their super fan.
He's trying to weasel
Is he
his
from
way
NXT? I've never even heard this name before.
Bro,
JD McDonough?
JD McDonough. He's from WWE UK. He has some banger matches. Banger matches.
Nice.
Young guy?
Nice.
Yes.
Was he like
very young, early 20s. He was trained by Finn and Bray County, Winslow, Ireland.
There's a lot of new guys that were at Payback. What was it, Grayson Waller?
Well, that's where you led me into right now, Brian. Following that, we had the Grayson Waller effect with special guest Cody Rhodes.
Can I say one thing before you get into it?
Absolutely.
No.
I felt it was very strange to have a talk show on a pay-per-view.
Well, we were speaking about this over text, and some of the greatest talk shows happen at pay-per-views to set up very big things. And one thing that they set up is the very big push of the very new and returning Jey Uso. So Cody Rhodes brought out new Monday Night Raw superstar Jey Uso.
He used his political influence.
He's not very new. He's
New to the Raw roster.
Grayson Waller's new. He should have
Well,
been
that's the subterfuge, Brian, for Grayson. You know, it's not. We're saying it's about Jay, but it's really, you know.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that it's weird for me because usually talk shows build up. I get it was building something up.
He
but
used his political influence.
People aren't trying to on a pay-per-view. People don't want to see a build-up. They want to see a happening, an explosion of something.
Well, it was a happening, Brian.
But that's what. But it's
well,
no, they want to see Brian on a premium live event. They want to see premium content. Okay.
Was it premium content? That was premium content for you?
I mean, maybe for some. I didn't even watch
not for
I
you.
watched
Not for you.
Trish and Becky, and that was it. That was premium for enough for me. Trish and Becky. The end.
Brian, you said you want it to explode, right?
Continue, Sean.
This is where they just laid the dynamite for a potential explosion to see how
Brian just wants it right away.
How far this guy's
It's a pay-per-view. I'm saying it's a pay-per-view. Usually it's
a premium live event.
Right. It's a premium but usually
it's a premium live event.
Usually in the past, it's a promo package that is an explosion with a big match happening for the fucking
There were
people
plenty
of
of
pay-per-view.
explosions on the pay-per-view live event.
I think it was weird. It was weird for me, is all I'm saying.
Brian, it was just a breather.
Sorry, nobody got their nuts smashed at the PLE, Brian.
If someone got their nuts smashed, somebody
didn't breathe fire and singe their lungs at the pay-per-view, Brian.
Okay.
There was no nut smashing, so I didn't care.
Continue, please. This is going off the rails. It's going off the rails.
We have a new and improved Jey Uso, showed up in all gray, nice, cool, calm tone. I'm here to start fresh and new and leave the bloodline behind me. Following that, we had Big Mommy Cool, as she once called herself, Raquel Gonzalez, challenging Mommy Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship.
Two large women, two
houses who I'd like to see tear down the house at WrestleMania one day because they've had some great matches before, and I'm pretty sure they can have it again. Rhea retained via Dom helping her. Following that, we had our main event, which was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And funny enough, this is Shinsuke's very first time main eventing a premium live event. Now, many of you guys may know that he did before with NXT, but this is his first time doing it on a regular brand. That's very
and he's won the Royal Rumble.
He has won the Royal Rumble. I love him.
Won the Rumble.
I love him. I'm glad they're giving him a little thing to do.
It's fucked up because the promos that he cut in Japanese were so much better than the silly ones that he cuts in English, and they always make him cut silly English promos. And for this match, they let him do a whole shit in his own language.
I know it's your back.
The anime shit was like the coolest shit.
I know it's your back.
You can't tell me that shit wasn't cool and different.
Yeah, it was awesome. He's awesome. They completely, within just the matter of like 2 weeks, they just flipped the switch on Shinsuke, and I care again. And he's
I don't understand. It's so weird that they could have just did that.
He also had great Muda ringside watching.
Good
He didn't walk away with the victory, but he did walk away with the potential at becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion because Seth Rollins is, in fact, dealing with a back injury that may have him out for quite some time.
Back sucks. And Shinsuke did what I thought MJF was going to do to Adam Cole at their pay-per-view, and that's after the camera stopped rolling and you saw the credits and the PLE was over, for the web exclusive, Nakamura attacked Rollins, and I don't know why, but I thought that they were going to do that at All In, where it's like, oh, okay, MJF and Cole are friends at the end, and then premium freaking Twitter content,
So
there was an attack.
They're just straight face, right? They're Adam Cole and MJF.
No, they played it straight, which I like. They
now.
just played it straight the whole way through. They won the tag titles as best friends, and they competed as best friends. And they
It's like
finished
kind of like
as best
Kane
friends.
and Daniel Bryan. It's like Kane and Daniel Bryan.
It's kind of dope. It's kind of dope because you kept thinking that one was going to turn. They just played it straight right down the middle, which that's kind of the alternative choice.
Yep, it's unexpected, but now you kind of expect it.
Sean, what do you
You need
think?
to turn.
What do you think John Cena is going to do in WWE?
He has a few dates, and it's unfortunate that he does have those dates because he was filming Peacemaker and all these other projects that he has. But we get to see him back in the ring. I don't think he's gonna work many programs. I do think he's gonna do some live events here, but I think his tour is gonna wrap up with a match, and the match is gonna be based around either LA Knight or The Miz. I'm hoping it's The Miz, because they've worked great before. And what we're seeing Miz do today is it's important for wrestlers of his age to show that they can still go with the wrestlers that are coming up now gunning for their spot. And Miz is the prime, like, star for that.
Yeah,
like,
even
How
though
old is
LA
the
Knight's
Miz? How
like
old is
50.
the Miz? Do we know how old the Miz is?
Miz has to be like
62,
42.
I think.
No.
Miz has to be 42.
I would say he's over 40. But
Yeah,
Miz
42.
never does anything really crazy.
Miz is 42 years old.
All right, I
John
think it's
Cena's 46.
I think it's going to be some kind of tag match. I'd give you 3 possibilities: John and Cody against Jimmy and Solo, John and LA versus Miz and Waller.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's my only 2, actually. Now that I think about it,
I think it might just be LA versus John Cena.
Ooh, no.
Yeah, I think I would go with that too, because you got to remember how much gas in the tank that these superstars have, or how much Cena's gonna want to
Work.
give. And I think you could have the more spectacular showdown with some new fish on the line, as they say. Whereas we've already seen John Cena beat the Miz's pussy up all over WrestleMania.
Well, that's why I don't think we're getting Miz Cena, because maybe that's what I'm saying, a tag mutation of those things.
I would say either a tag match or the one-on-one with LA Knight, because they teased that. They teased the little LA Knight John Cena. They said something.
A little tension.
They literally gave it a little tension, right?
Real quick. Look, I know we're wrapping up, but I love where this is going. I just want to shout out, y'all. Gail Kim has announced she's coming back to the ring.
It's like a big TNA reunion this weekend.
All the old people are just coming fucking in droves.
Yeah. It's wild. I haven't heard more about Impact in a long time.
Because it sucks, dude. Anytime I went to Impact, it wasn't really enjoyable, and it was just like a weird production to me.
Nah, I loved Impact like 2014, 2015.
Well, I didn't go then. I was going
Those
later.
are JV years. Those are JV years, though,
Yep.
Sean. You know,
Yep.
like
I went when Ken Shamrock was wrestling like fucking what was
Oh,
his
two.
name?
Sabu?
TJ fucking can't remember his name. TJ something.
Jonathan.
Yo, real quick. I want to.
Adam
I have a question, and it's been
Yeah,
bugging me
TJ
like since I saw it
Johnson.
happen. So at the end
TJ
of
Perkins.
the tag match with MJF and Adam Cole, when they're walking up the ramp, Samoa Joe comes out. Right now, the last time Samoa Joe and MJF were both on screen together was at NXT Takeover when MJF is pushed against the wall.
Yes.
By
Planned
Samoa
or
Joe,
unplanned,
right?
Sean? Was it planned or unplanned?
Damn
that
near
situation?
pushed him off the stage.
No. I don't even want to get what like the plan or if it wasn't, because clearly it was. I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about storylines or scenarios carrying over from another company into the next? Now, my reason why I'm asking that is because it happened twice in one night. Not only with MJF, but it happened later on with Lana, who then showed up to help Rusev.
Shout out Lana,
Miro.
my flexible wife. Yeah, that's what he calls her, my flexible wife.
and bendable.
So strange.
I'm
It's
so
like-
happy they're reunited.
It's very weird. I don't know how I feel about storylines carrying over.
Hey, you know
Sean,
what?
I'm gonna tell you. It's impossible. It's impossible not to ignore because of today's climate with social and what everybody knows, how everyone is already into the traction that little clip of Joe and MJF all those years ago has gotten now that MJF is champion. So now it's like, hey, remember the last time these two personalities existed in the ethos of wrestling?
Yep.
Although it was in another company, whether it be ROH or CZW or XPW or whatever, and their little interaction. Let's play that back again, but in a whole nother scenario.
Yeah, let's
with,
meme
like,
it.
different
Let's
levels.
meme it.
And
Make a thing
now-
out of it.
Now, and the biggest part about it is now we're all salivating for when that confrontation does go down. I don't know about the rest of you, but I can't wait for Joe and MJF to have a one-on-one because of all of like think of how Max is going to be able to, going to be able to milk all that for what it's worth. Tell the actual backstage story of how, you were talking to me in catering while we were eating walnuts, telling me how proud you were of me,
Larry.
Oh, they're gonna go in. They're gonna go in so hard.
Before we sign off, I have one more question for you. But before that, I just want to say shout out Samoa Joe for clotheslining.
Pretzelmania.
Well, first of all, Pretzelmania.
Pretzelmania.
He definitely looked at the pretzel. He definitely looked at it and chose to ignore it. And secondly, shout out Samoa Joe for once upon a time coming to the Queen's Elks Lodge side room and absolutely blowing up one Daniel DeManto in the most one-sided piece of business that I've ever seen. And apparently Samoa Joe, he had some choice words for the big guy after that. And, was visibly like, ay, during the match. And I have footage of it somewhere. If we ever get monetized again, maybe that'll be a secret clip. So shout out Samoa Joe.
I missed that one. I missed that show.
You know what I'm referring to. You know what
I
I'm
heard all
referring to.
about it. I heard all about the dressing down.
Well, and, shout out because, it takes a strong man to, take those words to heart and make the changes. So, shout out for being a big enough man to take constructive criticism.
If it wasn't for Joe doing that, there would probably be no ICW, no holds barred.
Right? Yeah. Hey, exactly. So shout out Samoa Joe. We love you on this program. I have one more roundtable question for the three of you, and then we'll say bye-bye. We'll start with Brian. Is very, very easy, simple, point blank. Is CM Punk going to show up in WWE?
No, I don't even think it's CM Punk's fault. I think just people he's burnt too many bridges, and nobody. And I think that I think he's gonna go quietly into the night now. He came back twice.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Yeah, it's too much now. Now it's time to go.
Sean,
he did what he did.
I say anything is possible in the world of professional wrestling. CM Punk had a great relationship with Endeavor. WWE is finalizing their deal with Endeavor by the end of this month. And again, anything is possible in the world of professional wrestling.
I mean, it's even possible that he shows back up at AEW in like 6 months.
Maybe tomorrow.
Larry,
Sean, you were hell bent. You were hell bent on him being back right away. You thought it was a whole work.
Yeah,
I'm still holding out hope as well that it's a work, but why wouldn't you have culminated it in All Out?
Right, it's Chicago. That was
Larry, will CM Punk show up in WWE?
I believe that he will.
Wow, I think I'm in agreement with you. I think
so. That's 3 yeses and 1 no.
Yo, they'll give him. He'll have like a match. Larry, one more question. You were not in Ring of Honor at the same time as CM Punk, but you must have been around hearing the remnants and reverberations of his presence, no?
So no, not in Ring of Honor. Not in Ring of Honor, but I kind of heard a lot more about his time when I was with Dragon Gate USA. When I was with Dragon Gate USA is when I first was with BJ Whitmer, Jimmy Jacobs, Dave Sapolsky, which is what I learned was the old remnants of ROH. Remember, they got rid of Gabe, and then Gabe went and started doing Dragon Gate and Evolve. And he kind of still had the loyalty, a lot of that crop of Ring of Honor guys that were in the heyday of Colt Cabana and CM Punk. So, no, I never really heard any reverberations. I know that when I was there, we sold out of the last of his block of DVDs. Those are no longer available because they would always like just sell right as soon as we got them. People would buy them. So that was like sort of like my kind of twinge of like how popular this guy was. It wasn't just because he was on WWE, but people craved all those matches with him and Raven. Like his the Samoa Joe, which I have a sealed copy of. The 3 DVD disc set, him versus Joe. So like, I knew of that. And also the big thing was, and this is why Cheeseburger took over the old ROH dojo, was like CM Punk. I remember when he was in WWE, went to the old ROH dojo and filmed some footage that's on one of his WWE DVDs. And Sinclair was like, we don't want that property anymore. We don't want to pay tuition on it. But Cheeseburger, to preserve, and Simi Sakai, to preserve the footsteps that had been walked on that place by Punk, who actually trained there in the infancy of ROH. That place is still a dojo, the Worldwide Dojo in Bristol, PA. So, that sure was kind of impactful enough to me while I was there to know of the man. But no, I never was around him or heard about him.
Dude, I think that Punk has like such a bad stigma around him that why would you want to hire this person when he's just getting fired and suspended from companies for fighting the other towns?
Yeah, and
we live in a society.
Yeah, but it's still a company. It's still a multi-billion-dollar company.
Well, they don't need him. You know what I'm saying?
They don't even right. He's just he does.
So even if they do look at AEW as stupid and don't blame Punk for the actions that led to his demise, there, it's probably still too much of a risk for $1 billion company.
Unprofessional, toxic.
Yeah, you can't. At the end of the day, you can't rely on him because he might flip out. Like
you don't even know.
Other people are assholes, so you don't even. It's not even like if you hire CM Punk, it's not even like you have to worry about him. You have to worry about somebody saying something to him.
Company.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Brian. I would love to see him back.
It would be insane.
Just one match, just to make everybody's
that's
blown.
at the heart of it. At the heart of it, controversy creates cash.
Yep.
In this one polarizing individual, you have the ability to essentially rival UFC with the hoopla around what the fuck he's even going to say.
He sucked in UFC.
So I want that money. Fuck the business. I'm a multi-billion-dollar this cancer. Fuck that money. And all eyes on my TV. He was on that TV. Now he's on my TV. Listen to what the fuck he has to say.
Yeah, that would be dope. All right, well, hey, let me just say.
I want the fuel. I want the fuel on the fire. I don't want this to simmer now. These motherfuckers want to take a victory lap. Okay.
I think he's old and tired.
And he's probably NDA.
He said it himself. He said he's old and tired. He said it himself. His own words. Quote the man.
Yeah.
He's probably NDA'd to high
I work with children.
That's what he said.
He's probably all NDA'd out.
I think that the old was the juxtaposed working with children because they're not children and he's not old.
He's
but
not
working
young.
with them, it's like working with them. It's like children, so I feel fucking old.
Did you see that at Cauliflower Con or whatever? He was like making friends. There's a photo of him having a jovial conversation with Bradshaw and Farouk, and it just made me laugh. Like back when he was at the company, Bradshaw probably fucking hated him. But now, because he's worked with Jack Perry, he could complain about the younger generation to Bradshaw. And they're like all laughing about it. Like, yeah, fuck these guys, man. Fuck these guys. That's his only chance. That's CM Punk's only chance, is that he complains about AEW in a way that charms Paul. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, come on. You're an old. Hey, you learned the hard way. But, you know, good job choking that guy out. We need more old school guys in here. But that's probably not going to happen. That's a fantasy.
Well, I like to imagine that it wasn't like he's pallet up to JBL and Ron Simmons. It was more of the fact that they were like, so heard anything good? And someone captured that moment of him being like, I'll tell you something
fuck
good.
That, because the CM Punk from 2014, if he saw a photo of himself alienated from the new young company, chatting it up with JBL and Farouk, he'd be sickened by his own image, dude.
He'd vomit, dude.
He'd be like, I'll never hang out with those guys. I'll fucking never, ever. JBL, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's JBL's best friend now,
CM
dude.
Punk don't have a friend in the world left, so he has to hang out with JBL at some cauliflower club.
You only get invited to the
CM
Cauliflower Alley Club if you're somebody.
God damn it.
He found the nearest possible WWE influencer old head and just went like, yeah, these kids today.
I think that's the narrative that you would like to believe is what happened. But I think that some fan just captured a picture of one of this motherfucker like saying that, zinging him with that one line.
Yucking it up.
Like, what did he say? Like, I never thought I'd be here with you.
Yeah.
Don't forget JBL's a Sagittarius like the rest of us. He knows what to fucking say.
He's the guy with the same birthday, bro.
He knows exactly what to say to fucking
Cauliflower Alley Club, whatever.
Make Phil fucking laugh for the camera.
Cauliflower Con or whatever the hell it was.
Cauliflower Alley.
And you know that CM Punk, without a friend in the world, he's probably walking around. He's probably the nicest guy. He's holding doors for everybody. He's helping out at Coat Check. He's like, oh, Mickey James, remember, we're friends. Hey, guys, remember, I'm still cool. Hey, all these kids today. Hey, oh, you want me to go get you something? You know what I mean? He's just sucking to whatever he
gophering. Can. He's back to gopher level Punk. He's back to Phil.
He sent a text to the Undertaker. He's like, hey, sorry about before, brother. I get it now, brother.
All right.
Hey,
take us home, Patrick.
All right, brother.
Final thoughts here.
Yeah.
Well, listen. You know what?
10%.
You guys say bye because you're about to get
muted.
I'm
just gonna hit the bong.
By the way, just a quick final thought from me. I want to say shout out to CM Punk for one reason in particular, because when you are faced with another man disrespecting you in public, another person, whether it's a physical, verbal, or psychological battle, you have two choices laid out in front of you. You could probably be mature, be the bigger person, walk away and take that high road. But CM Punk, he did something that is much braver than the high road, and he took the low road. And that's what we're all about. So to all our enemies, die slow. Blvd Bullies. Bye-bye!
Boulevard.